Legion Field, the Old Gray Lady, for the first time in the 86-year history of the Morehouse-Tuskegee Football Classic, will host the longest-running classic in all of Division II football. The Tuskegee Golden Tigers taking on the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse in a key SIAC matchup. Hello, everybody. I'm James Verrett, along with two-time Super Bowl champion and proud graduate of the Fort Valley State University, Tyrone Poole. Tyrone, this matchup has raised the level of intensity really because of the two head coaches on opposite sides.
Yeah, James, you're right. Now, people want to wonder, why do you come to a HBCU? Well, Rich Freeman and Willie Slater are the reasons why. Rich Freeman is going to teach you confidence, courage, and consistency, while Willie Slater is going to teach you how to be passionate, learn how to prepare, and have great partners.
Now, both of these teams started a little slow out of the gate, but right now Tuskegee has really found their footing using a running back that's a senior, and he's playing very well in Devontae Patterson.
Yes, IP, that's what I'm calling him today, IP. Mr. Patterson is going to have to use his intellectual property, his mindset, that thing inside their helmet, to actually overcome a tough Morehouse defense.
And for the Maroon Tigers, they're also led by one of their running backs, Frank Bailey Jr. He had 99 yards 2 years ago in this classic.
James, see Frank run, see Frank catch. Morehouse is going to have to use Frank Bailey Jr. in the passing game to get by another tough defense, a stingy defense of them Golden Tigers.
Not only is this bragging rights, but it's a key SIAC matchup in the Magic City of Birmingham, Alabama. For the first time, Tuskegee Morehouse from Legion Field will have the kickoff coming up next.
Seven grads later, we remain inspired by the people, the passion, and the power of HBCUs to continue our purpose. Learn more at retoolyourschools.com.
She still stands tall, affectionately known as the Old Gray Lady. Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, the new home of the Morehouse-Tuskegee Football Classic. And we're taking a look at the head coach for Tuskegee, Willie Slater, in his 16th season, Tyrone, and he has continued that championship tradition.
Yeah, Willie Slater. I remember Willie when he actually coached Slater, should I say. I don't got so personal with him that I know him back when he was at North Alabama, and we played against one another. And Rich Freeman, I played against him when I was at Fort Valley, so I know these two coaches very personally, James.
Rich Freeman in his 15th season at Morehouse, and this time trying to get his first win of the season. They played a lot of teams tough. They had a tough non-conference season to start. They had to play a lot of powerhouse Division II teams, but now he's trying to right the ship, get his team healthy, and possibly get one of the biggest upsets in this rivalry.
Yeah, Morehouse is behind in this rivalry, but again, you can't look at records with these two teams square it off, because records go out the window whenever you are playing against your rivalry. It's almost like playing against your brother. It don't matter what the record is. It's who wants it the best, who wants it the most.
Arn Huskett will kick for the Golden Tigers. This will be a short one. They'll take it at their own 10-yard line. That is Marquise, looks like Marquise Pride on the return, and he gets good field position to start out at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, I always tell how good a team is going to play based off of the kickoff. If the kickoff coverage comes down and they limit the return of the returning team, then usually the momentum is going to shift. But right there on that particular play, it's like it was an even match. The return team didn't do too much and didn't look too much good on the kickoff coverage team, but they did pin Morehouse back a little bit.
And they're going to try to spread you out, but also want to run the ball with Frank Bailey at running back and your quarterback, Michael Sims, the senior out of Detroit, Michigan. And the first carry goes to Frank Bailey Jr., and he's able to get 1, possibly 2 yards. For Michael Sims, this has not been the season that he wanted. He has not thrown a touchdown pass yet this season, has had a number of interceptions, but they feel as if the best is yet to come because the team really didn't get on campus until about first or second week in August. Once again, a run from Frank Bailey Jr., and this time he goes nowhere fast. number of white shirts right there to wrap him up.
Yeah, when you look at Morehouse's offense, you're going to see a lot of spread. They're going to spread the defense, and what they're trying to do is to get these linebackers to walk out and cover those number 2 receivers so that they can open up some running room, hopefully, for Frank Bailey Jr.
3rd down and 8. They need to get to about the 36 for a first down. And looks like the play clock may have run down.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You see Frank, you see Coach Rich Freeman right there. You saw him move his hand like in a circle. He's kind of telling the offense, let's go. We got to basically get a little bit of momentum going here. We got to get some consistency going here. Hurry up, hurry up. So let's see if that transitions.
3rd and 13. Sims with a little time. He finds a receiver and close to a first down are the Maroon Tigers. Reception made by Sean Strickland, just a freshman for Morehouse.
Yeah, you see on this play here, basically all the receivers actually are running a little bit of they call it routes where each receiver sits down in a particular pocket of the defense, and the quarterback just tries to hit that short yardage.
And this time Frank Bailey was hit initially on the blitz by Wesley Apollon, and this time he was eventually brought down by the rest of the white shirts. Apollon has a twin brother. It's Wesley and Woodley Apollon, and they're the international flavor today. They come from Montreal, Canada. Bonjour.
That's a long way to come play football. But, hey, that's what HBCU football is all about. It'll go all the way to another country to bring athletes into this HBCU history.
Ernest Davis gets his first carry of the day, goes nowhere fast. The bottom of that pile, Frederick Austin, big number 99, able to plug that hole along with others, with Woodley Apollon right there.
You're going to see a lot of this. You're going to see a lot of the interior for Tuskegee. Those D linemen will have to make plays because, as you can see, Morehouse loves to spread the defense out.
Another 3rd down situation for the Maroon Tigers.
And we got a little bit of motion up there at top. Number 5, Mr. Pride. Try to get downfield too soon.
False start. Offense, number 5. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Marquez Pride, one of the wide receivers, called for that one.
Yeah, seeing Rich saying we can't have that. We can't have that. And you can't have that in a big classic like this. You can't do anything to hurt yourself. You can't get penalties, as they say it, as they call it, shooting yourself in the foot. Can't have fumbles, can't have penalties.
3rd down conversion, a big part of why they've struggled this year, and this one was thrown at the line of scrimmage, and Sims will get out of there. So far this season, Morehouse has only converted 15% of their 3rd downs.
Yeah, you saw why right there. Tuskegee decided to come with an all-out blitz. They had more people coming than Morehouse could actually block, and Sims had no choice but to throw that ball away. It was a great call by Tuskegee defense. 3rd and long.
Grounding. Offense, number 17. No eligible receiver in the area. Loss of down at the spot of foul. 4th down.
And that was an excellent call, again, by the referees. Tuskegee decided to come with an all-out blitz, and Sims, feeling the heat, just threw the ball away. And basically he was trying not to get the sack. That was obvious, and that's why the intentional grounding was called.
Fernando S. Delamore goes over his head, and he kicks it out of the back of the end zone. And that should be
Legal kicking. Kicking team number 36. End zone. Result of the play is a safety.
And Fernando S. Delamore does what he tries to do as far as safety. It's easier to give up 2 points rather than possibly give up a touchdown.
Well, if you was in Las Vegas and you were betting on this game, How many people would have betted that the first points were going to be 2 points? Well, if you did bet that, then lucky you. But again, that's what you have to do is the punt. The ball was over his head, and had no choice but to kick it out of bounds, kick it out of the field of play, and accept the 2 points versus, like you said, James, having one of those Tuskegee players land on the ball. Now it's 6 points instead of 2.
So the defense earns, or special teams earns, 2 points from the S. De La Mora, and you can see that Coach Freeman wants that snap to be better next time, because you got to remember they're looking for their first win of the season, and this is the longest drought Freeman has had as a head coach at Morehouse, trying to get his first victory.
Yeah, the snap is the most important thing in football. Football does not start until the snap. I've seen so many quarterbacks fumble the snap from coming up under the center. You see them in the gun these days. The ball gets snapped over their head. Special team is the same thing. The punter, the center, it all starts with the snap. And we just seen right there what a bad snap can do to you. It can put you in the hole 2 points early in the game.
And S. De La Mora trying to get the tee so he can do the kick. And back deep is DeVern's Valcine for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. And Valcine will take it over his shoulder at the 10-yard line. And he's trying to find some room to run, and he does, but not able to get much more. A lot of maroon shirts right there.
S. De La Mora did a great job of getting a great kick, and you saw the returner had to go back and retrieve it on the run. That's because the returner even underestimated the strength of S. De La Mora's leg. But that's a great kick by S. De La Mora by giving the Morehouse defense an opportunity to play a better field position, whereas Tuskegee thought they would have gotten better field position based off of the penalty.
And you see the quarterback for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, Bryson Williams, just a sophomore out of Lithonia, Georgia, really learning on the job. First carry for Avante Patterson, and this time he's wrapped up, leading the way. A number of maroon shirts, and Carlito Gonzalez getting his first tackle of the day, coming back off of injury.
Yeah, you know, Bryson Williams right here, he's going to have to take a lot of pressure off of Patterson, because if he cannot throw this ball against Morehouse's secondary, then look for Morehouse to crowd the line of scrimmage to take away Patterson, which is going to make it tough for that Tuskegee's offense to get anything going.
They bring in one of their fullbacks. Bryan is right there to make a way for Patterson, and this time he gets out to the 30-yard line. He's brought down by Tyler Hunter and company.
You saw Patterson run up the backside of his offensive lineman, number 65, sitting there, and sitting that offensive lineman, he can't sit there. He got to continue to move down the field because the running game is coming right behind him. But that just shows how powerful Patterson is. He's a guy that he's unstoppable. You can just hope to contain him.
Looking to throw, nice flare pass, but a good open field tackle by Daniel Norman. Reception made by Valcine, known for his special teams, but he's also a pretty good wide receiver. That's just his fourth reception of the season.
Nice throw by Wilson here. Gets it into Valcine's hands, but excellent open field tackle. Whether you got to trip him up, just get him on the ground. And that is a nice play by Norman right there.
Fourth down. So far, both defenses have stood strong. And our first punting opportunity for the SIAC Special Teams Player of the Week, Ryan Duff. He averages about 32 yards a punt. This one is nice, and it'll be fair caught. And when we come back, we'll see if Morehouse can get their offense going. Right now, no score in the Morehouse-Tuskegee Football Classic from Birmingham. In Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama, the first time in 86 years that it's not played in the state of Georgia, the Tuskegee Morehouse Classic. 2-0 is your score in favor of the Golden Tigers by way of an S. Delamora kick out of bounds on a punt to prevent a touchdown from happening, and that 2 points is all that the Golden Tigers need right now to have the lead, but the Maroon Tigers are going to try to get something started here on offense. Give over to Bailey. He's being pursued, and this time he's brought down by Woodley Apollon, the twin of Wesley Apollon. They both play the linebacker position. Young men wanted to play together, and the only school that would recruit both of them was Tuskegee.
Well, sometimes you have to go where you can play like you want to play.
And it doesn't hurt that both of them are 6'4", 220.
That never hurts at all. Never hurts at all, James.
4-yard gain, 2nd down and 4. Ernest Davis, and this time he goes nowhere fast to bring up a 3rd down opportunity. And two guys showing a little love for each other. Jeremy Dees right there playing the defensive end spot. Sometimes they're undersized at Tuskegee, but they're always fast.
I've seen a lot of guys, even in the pros, they are undersized, but it's all about quickness. On the defensive line, it's all about beating the offensive line to the punch, especially teams that run zone, running game, passing. You got to be quick and nimble to get between those big guys called the offensive line.
3rd down and 4. Bullet pass, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Delancey Tolliver. Now we got some more pushing and shoving going on. That was a good hit there by Kobe Mitchell. I think you know Kobe Mitchell's dad there, Tyrone.
Yes, sir. There's a lot of these athletes that they have the genetics and the actual upbringing and being around football. But, yes, his dad has won a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens. So it's in the family, James.
Another high snap, but Fernando S. Delamora able to get it off. And a fair catch called by Valcine. And a good kick there by S. Delamora. We'll go to a break. 2-point lead here for the Tuskegee Golden Tigers. We'll see if their offense can get on track coming up next.
For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you...
And we're back to live action. Avante Patterson trying to get to the outside, and wow, he is upended and knocked out of bounds, but not before he was able to gain 1, maybe possibly 2 yards to make it 2nd down.
Yeah, you saw number 28 Pittman come up, and that's what you have to do. You have to come up when the running back actually breaks outside and he gets past containment. You actually got to come up and force, and that was a great job by Pittman coming up. All 5'9", 165 pounds of that redshirt freshman.
They'll give him 4, make it 2nd down and 6. This one intercepted. Wow. This time, that young man makes another great play. Darian Pittman, redshirt freshman out of Tarpon Springs, Florida, and it just went right to him.
Yeah, Wilson throws the ball. You see the receiver actually didn't even get his head around. That was a great read by Pittman. He read the quick step, and we're taught as defensive backs, take the first three-step read. The three-step read is to ensure that the quick game is not coming. Then you get your eyes back on the receiver. And right there, Pittman read the three-step. Williams threw the ball, but the receiver was not anticipating. Easy pickoff by Pittman. That's a great play by that young man right there.
And it was hard to scout Pittman because he really hasn't played much this season. This is his first opportunity to play, and he shows up big.
You got to be able to play the mind. Football is more mental than physical these days. And the ones that can play the game upstairs make big plays. Just like
Best
Pittman.
field position of the day. Now a pitch and catch reception made by Tolliver for the Maroon Tigers. And now they're well into Golden Tiger territory of Tuskegee.
You're going to always see Morehouse. Morehouse love to run a lot of spacing routes. Spacing routes are where the receivers, again, they run maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, and they all sit down on the same level. And right there, you saw where Tolliver ran a little quick route, Sims dropped back, get the ball out of his hands very quick. That is what this Rich Freeman offense tries to do. Get the ball out of the quarterback hands quickly.
Give it to Ernest Davis. No, Sims is going to keep it, but this time he is wrapped up quickly. Antonio Keenan Jr., young man out of Atlanta, making the open field tackle to bring him down for a third down situation.
Yeah, let's see if we can fool the Morehouse, the Tuskegee defense. Let's see if we can do a quarterback keeper, but Tuskegee defense was on point. Everybody's paying attention. Morehouse thought that they could use Sim to get some extra yards, because sometimes these defenses, they get caught up with the run game, and then sometimes you can sneak a little play in with the quarterback keeper, but not on that watch.
Keeper again by Sims, and he's able to get the first down and a little bit more. They'll move the chains.
You know, I would love to see, I don't really particularly like a lot of running my quarterbacks, especially up in the middle like that, because your quarterback is going to get hit. And right there we see Sims take a blow into the back of the shoulder pass, and nobody likes to get hit on. But Coach Rich Freeman, he knows his offense. That's why he's on the field, and I'm up here with you, James.
1st and 10, ball at the 26-yard line. Inside run by Davis. In his second effort, the ball is loose. Wonder if they're going to say the ground caused it, but no, they're saying that, all right, the officials are going to converse. And they're going to say the ground caused it. It's going to be second down.
I'm going to tell you what made that play happen. There was a shift by Morehouse offense. And Tuskegee defense had to balance up. And when they balanced up, Morehouse was able to run to the less number side. That's what football is all about. It's all about the number game. You're always going to run towards the less numbers of the defense. And when that shift happened, you saw Morehouse send 2 people to the left side, and you saw Tuskegee defense balance up, and then Morehouse ran back to the weak side.
Staying on the ground, Davis. Oh, he's getting more and more, about 6, possibly 7 yards. He brings a convoy with him. More positive gains by the young man out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, right now Tuskegee, the middle of their defense is getting pushed around a little bit, and I'm pretty sure when they get to the sideline, the defensive coaches, the coordinators are going to really tell the front line, the D tackles, you guys got to stay stronger up in that middle when the ball is run.
Keeper by Sims, and this time a touchdown-saving tackle made by Carl Matthews III.
This is what happens when you continue to attack the middle. Good fake right there. This is what they call the RPO. We're going to run pass, but the quarterback is going to read it. If the defensive end or the defense comes down on the running back, he's going to pull it out of the gut of the running back, and he's going to keep it. And that's exactly what you saw Sims do on that play. That's why he get that headbutt.
Got a timeout call. When we come back, we'll see if Morehouse momentum can continue. 2-0 is your score right here on ESPN. Coming up in the second quarter, we'll talk to one of the Golden Tigers' all-time greats, Drayton Florence. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2014. He's the highest drafted player ever from Tuskegee University, a first-team Division II All-American. And it all just so happens that while he was at Tuskegee, he was able to bring back 3 interceptions for touchdown. Tyrone, I don't think you did that while you were at Fort Valley. Not 3.
I don't know. I have to go back and check my records, James.
4 minutes left in the opening quarter. Morehouse knocking on the door. Sims is going to keep it, try to get to the outside. Touchdown, Maroon Tigers. Touchdown, Michael Sims. And yes, they get on the board and gain the lead.
Yeah, right here, again, read, run option, okay? The defense over pursues. Defense has to read their keys here. Read the keys. You always got to have someone on containment. And right there, Tuskegee defense did not have anyone that would set the edge if the quarterback ran the ball. But every defense has a personnel on defense to set the edge. And right there was no edge set. Easy walk-in touchdown for Sims. That's why you get all those hits on the back, chest bumps, and helmet.
Fernando S. Delamora with the point after attempt, and he has been perfect all season, his 5th straight point after attempt, and Michael Sims gets his rushing touchdown of the year. Let's take a look at how all of this got started, and it all started with an interception by a freshman, Darian Pittman.
Yeah, again for the young DBs. You see the quarterback is in the gun, no step, throws the ball, quick game. And right here, Sims, RPO, pulls it out of the gut of the running back. Defense goes with the running back. Sims uses his speeds and long jumps into the end zone. That's what happens when you make a touchdown. You get all those chest bumps, helmet slaps. Then you go to the sideline, you get all of the brotherly love.
And you see the sigh of relief as he's shaking his head and getting all the high fives. And for Coach Freeman, having the lead is important, but maintaining it will be even better.
Yeah, that's why you ask anybody that has played Morehouse-Tuskegee, it doesn't matter about the records. Morehouse has not won a game. Tuskegee has won 2 games, but when these 2 teams play, you throw the records out the window.
Tuskegee will take it inside their own 10. Valcine, with a decent run back, gets it out to about the 29-yard line.
You know, kickoff returning is about setting up your blocks and then hitting it. Right there, you saw Valcine kind of dance a little bit. You never dance when you're on that special teams. You got those guys coming down, kick coverage. They're coming down bent for leather, trying to find that ball. You want to hit that crease and go with it.
Now we'll see if Bryson Williams, the young man out of Lithonia, Georgia, can answer with a drive of his own for a score. This time a give to Patterson. Patterson once again getting some hard-fought yards. Dalen Land right there to bring him down.
The offensive line is beginning to work a little bit. They've always worked real good for Patterson, but it's going to be more imperative that they work efficiently, because as you look at number 41 right there for Morehouse, Mr. Land, he's saying we're going to stop that today.
After a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6, Patterson once again, he's close to the first down, and Land is once again right there to bring him down, but not before he may be able to move the chains and continue this drive.
Yeah, you know, we heard Rich Freeman talk about Garcia and Gonzalez. He's there. You see him coming in right there, number 9. Gonzalez, he's one of those important guys in that Rich Freeman defensive scheme. So he has him back. He didn't have him the last time we saw them, but Gonzalez is back. Let's see what kind of impact he has today.
Williams with time to throw. Now he's getting some pressure. He's going to keep it and run. Spin move gets beyond midfield. The young man stands 6'3", 193, so he just lands forward. He gets an extra yard.
Yeah, again, you can see the impact, I think, already with Gonzalez. Now, anytime you have a quarterback that can break containment like Williams did, and he still can't throw the ball, that means that everybody was covered downfield. But the only problem with that was the defensive line, nobody contained, and that's why Williams was able to scramble for the yards and make it 2nd and 1.
Give to Patterson. He gets one and a few more into Maroon Tiger territory down at about the 46.
Again, Patterson is one of those guys who get him going off tackle, right, off tackle, left, up the middle. He's that type of guy that Tuskegee know that they can rely on. All 5'11", 200 pounds of him.
And for Patterson, he only had 54 yards in their win in 2019 against Morehouse. Most likely looking for much more today. Time to throw off of the hands of Stephen Hodges, his favorite receiver. He's 1,000 yards receiving in his career at Tuskegee, but that one gets away.
Yeah, you saw Tuskegee line up. They had both backs to Williams' right side. And actually, that's what you do right there, Hodges. The opponent try to put your shoulder pad back into your jersey over your shoulder pad. You tell him no. But you saw that last play where Williams, he actually rolled to his right. And actually they had a far set. They had both backs to his left, to his right. And he tried to throw the ball, but it was incomplete.
2nd down and 10. Keeper now by Williams, and his RPO doesn't go anywhere fast. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
Now, both of these teams are going to try to use their quarterbacks into the running game because the quarterback is the only player, believe it or not, that is not accounted for on the defense. But in today's game, depending on how dangerous the quarterback is, and Williams right here, he is a dangerous guy, you will have someone spying and making sure that they keep him accounted for by that defense.
3rd down and 10. Trying to keep this drive alive. The offense has yet to score. Special teams has credit for the safety. This time the blitz, and they find him and bring him down for a sack. Great job by the Maroon Tiger defense to step up big and provide that shellacking by Zachary Becton.
Again, great call, great timing. The blitz, get Williams down on his ground, and Benton got one of his sacks. I'm pretty sure he's hoping to get more tonight. I'm pretty sure Benton's like, Coach, let's call it again, call it again. Coach said, don't worry, we will.
Playing that strong safety position, and you see Coach Freeman, he's really trying to push him. We've ended one quarter, and right now, this may be a surprise for many. 0-5 Morehouse with a 7-2 lead, but anybody that knows about this classic, records don't mean much. The SIAC Tuskegee Morehouse Classic from Birmingham, Alabama, Legion Field.
To a new time. Anyone's time.
For the first time in the history of this storied classic, they have moved to Birmingham, Alabama, Legion Field, affectionately known as the Old Gray Lady. Morehouse Maroon Tigers with a 7-2 lead. We'll be joined now by Drayton Florence, who is a proud Golden Tiger and a All-American and also had a long tenure in the NFL. Drayton, thank you for joining us. First question, how does it feel to see your team on ESPN?
This is awesome, man. My time at Tuskegee, we always dreamed about playing on a big stage. So to see these guys go out and compete, one of the storied classics of our university on ESPN, this is awesome.
You've played in this classic. Is this a situation where you forget about the records and you know you're always going to get the best out of your opponent?
Yeah, this is one of the games you circle at the beginning of the season with all the history and the camaraderie between the alumni and the former players. This is one of the bigger games. So this is the one that's been circled regardless of the record. We just want to go out and put on a good performance and come back victorious. My time at Tuskegee, we never lost to Morehouse, so I'm hoping the second half we can put up some more points and tighten up the defense a little bit.
Now that we got all that commercial talk out the way, man, let's talk football, baby. What's going on? How you doing, Drayton?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, man. I can't complain. Trying to stay on the golf course as much as possible. You know how it is.
Hey, that's how it is, baby. That's how it is. Hey, I just got to ask you, man, now, when we played Fort Valley, we played against Albany State, I had to get myself up.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do to get yourself up for this game against Morehouse?
Man, you know what? Exactly what I did each and every week, man. I studied hard and put my effort out there on practice field. And, once the game time came on Saturday afternoon, I was ready to go. So putting in a lot of preparation in throughout the week. I heard you mention earlier the game is played upstairs, and I tried to pride myself in that, knowing my opponents in and out, trying to call plays out on the field based on formations and personnel. So I put my work in during the week. And I was prepared every Saturday afternoon to go out and put on a show.
And right now we just saw Michael Sims throw a pass over to Delancey Tolliver, able to get some positive yards. And when you're looking at the defensive backs right now with Tuskegee, what do you think that they need to work on in order to keep this game within reach?
Well, the safeties and outside linebackers need to keep contained. I see that's the only thing that's really hurting them. They can dink and dunk all the way down the field as long as they don't hit us deep over the top. So far, I've been watching, and I think the corners are doing a good job of being physical on the outside. So just keeping contained. Anytime you got the RPO scheme, somebody's got to be responsible for the containment of the quarterback, and I think that's what kind of hurt us a little bit early on.
Now, what's the difference that you see in Tuskegee, just environment from when you were there to now?
The swag is a lot different, man. These kids are different. They're born different. We had a domination mentality, and we ran a different defense as well with Rick Comergy there. I would just say the mentality of the kids now is maybe a little bit different. It's a lot of different things going on in our society where we got a lot of emotions tied to everything. So I would just say the swagger is not there like it used to be. But we can work on that. We can work on that. Kevin Powell, defensive coordinator, one of my former teammates, is down there at Tuskegee doing a great job. So I think, the more they get some of the younger guys in there, we can kind of change that around.
Yeah, I believe the same thing, man. It's the swagger, and we had a lot of swag when I was at the Valley, man. We say the Blue Death defense. What name did you guys have for your secondary or your defense when you were at Tuskegee?
You know what? We actually didn't have a name,
what?
But everybody was calling us DBU before DBU was a thing. I
don't know about that, Drake. Hey, Fort Valley now,
listen,
brother, man. We have some good DBs
We can pull
too.
up the stats, T-Pool. I know we got some stats that we can pull up. I think we probably had the best statistic defensive secondary in the history of college football my senior and my junior year there. Because all three of our corners got drafted.
You got me right there. I can't
Frank
argue
Walker,
with you, Drake.
Roosevelt Williams, and myself, all of us got drafted. And, I think our whole secondary could have played in the league when I was at Tuskegee.
Yeah, you guys were ballers, man. I used to always love to play against you guys because I knew you guys threw the ball. When I was playing, Tuskegee would throw the ball. So I was going to definitely get some good stats.
You're going to get one that week, huh?
I know, right?
Dre, what was the atmosphere like when you have NFL scouts coming on campus? You have three of your teammates drafted in the same position. How crazy was that when, you were anticipating being drafted, but also your teammates anticipated being drafted?
Man, by you saying that, it's just giving me chills through my body because I would go to practice and we would have 6 or 7 scouts at each one of our practices, and they would only watch the defensive backs. And they wouldn't even go to Auburn. The 2 years I was there, they weren't even going to Auburn. They would come to Tuskegee first, which was surprising. So, every day at practice for us, Oakland Raiders, Broncos, Chargers, whoever, you see the guys there watching us practice, watching us get prepared. And then they would even talk to us before and after practice. So we got a lot of one-on-one time with the scouts, and that was very interesting. Coming from an HBCU, we had every team in the league come through Tuskegee 2 years straight while I was there. So, it did a lot for the recruiting, and then it showed all the guys that were there playing that, hey, you can make a career out of this as long as you show up on Saturdays and show up on that tape.
All right, Dre, thank you for joining us, and we'll get back with you later. Right now, it's still 7-2 in favor of Morehouse. We'll have more coming up next. Stay tuned.
Power of HBCUs to continue our purpose. Learn more at retoolyourschools.com.
And for Coach Freeman right now, he's looking at a 7-2 lead, trying to get his first victory of the season against his biggest rival of the storied history of Morehouse. It's got to be Tuskegee. They started playing way back in 1902, and they used to play home at home. But in 1935, in order to provide entertainment for Phoenix City and Columbus African-American community and Fort Benning military, they started playing the Tuskegee Morehouse Classic. And now, all these years later, and Avante Patterson is off to the races and pushed out of bounds at about the 45-yard line, his longest run of the day. And it seems as though that Golden Tiger defense has gotten started.
It was just a win, When was Patterson going to be turned loose? And right there, when you got a running back like Patterson, he got great vision, able to use a little bit of agility right there to pick up extra yards. So, again, like we said in the beginning, this guy's going to have to use his IP, that intellectual mentality that he has that makes him so great if Tuskegee is to continue to take advantage of this series, this classic between Morehouse.
And this is a run for a loss by Patterson. Able to submarine his way through is Xavier McKinney, the young man out of Homewood, Illinois. He's just a freshman. We've already seen freshman DeLand Lane and also freshman McKinney. And Land and McKinney playing the same position. That middle linebacker spot is really penetrating right now.
With a middle linebacker, the safety, if you draw a line from the middle of the defense back to the back end of the defense, the middle linebacker and the free safety, they are in the middle of that defense. They are very important to any successful defense.
Second and long for Tuskegee. Option, wow, great catch there by Patterson. That one could have easily become a fumble, but he did take a couple of yard loss.
They actually could have gotten some yards on this play right here. Williams actually throws the pitch behind Patterson right there. Patterson actually could have gotten some positive yards, but because the pitch was behind him, he had to turn around 360, and he did just good just to catch the ball and keep it from being anything worse than what it was.
Now a third down situation. Third downs have been crucial in this game. When Morehouse was able to convert third downs, they found their way into the end zone. And for Tuskegee, it has still been a struggle. Throwing long is Williams, trying to find a receiver. Jordan Ogletree reached out, but was unable to bring it in.
As they say, that is a long foul ball. Good coverage by the DB. Right there, you know why the ref didn't throw the flag? Look at the DB helmet. It's turned around, so that was a great job by Pittman right there. As long as you're looking at the ball, young DBs, that referee will not throw the flag, because by you turning your head around, it tells the referee that you were playing the football, not the receiver.
Another punting situation for the SIAC Special Teamer of the Week, Ryan Duff. Duff gets up the beauty, and he'll catch it at the 5, and the Maroon Tigers are going to try to set up a wall and bring it back. They do have some room there, and Marquez Pride for the Maroon Tigers able to get the best return that they've had all season long.
Anytime you turn a short punt to a big field, you're going to get a good return.
When we come back, we'll see if Coach Freeman and his offense can continue their hot ways. We'll stay tuned. 7-2 is your score. And for Michael Sims, a short touchdown run is the lone score for the Maroon Tigers, but it is enough to give them a 7-2 lead. James Red along with Tyrone Poole. And we are ready to get this one started after a good run back by Pride for Morehouse. They have the ball out at the 37-yard line. Inside give to Davis, and he's going to get beyond the 40 out to about the 42. And so far for Davis, in the first quarter, he had 20 yards rushing. His longest was 10 yards. Sims was right behind him with 16 yards and a touchdown run.
Yeah, between Sims and between Davis and Frank Bailey Jr., we just seen 3 guys that Morehouse basically are going to use in their running game.
And this time Davis gets to the second level. And now all of the white shirts come in, but not before he's able to get some more positive yards. Apollon was the first one to touch him.
Evidently, Morehouse has seen a lot of problems in the first 5 games for Tuskegee up the middle, because that is where Morehouse is attacking. Now again, Morehouse loves to spread the defense out so they can run up the middle.
Another inside run, wide open. Davis makes it all the way into the backfield, and Roderick Stewart able to bring him down, but not before another first down for the Maroon Tigers.
Yeah, we see a little bit of motion right there. That motion basically is just to get the defense to adjust and actually keep their eyes on number 81, Connell there. But again, the play is to give it to Davis up the middle. Like we've seen that before, right?
Another inside run. Davis gets bogged down, but not before he gets 1 or 2. They have to grab him by the ankles in order to finally bring him down. Seems as though the defense is selling out completely on the run going inside.
And, you know, the defense of Tuskegee, they are a 4-down front, meaning they have 4-down linemen. And right now those 4-down linemen are getting pushed around a little bit by that Morehouse offensive line.
Second down and 7. Williams. He breaks that tackle, keeps on going. Good positive yards by the tight end, Keandre Turner, with his first reception of the year.
Got a little bit of bootleg right here. Sims throws it to Turner. Actually, missed tackle causes Turner to pick up extra yards. And Mitchell, the kid, his dad, I'm pretty sure, Anthony Mitchell, that was the Super Bowl champion we were talking about earlier. He's not proud of that.
Ernest Davis on the near side, and he gets knocked out of bounds, and it looks like a flag, possibly a hold. As Davis has been the hot running back of the day for the Maroon Tigers. And let's see what the official call will be.
Holding. Number 7. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains first down.
Yeah, you see the pull of the jersey right there by number 80.
Ronnie Howard.
Now, it's going to be holding out there, offense, defense, receivers going to be pushing off. The key is when you see the extension of that jersey, that's what the referee is looking for, because it's holding going on out there every play, believe me.
Pushes them back 10, first down and 16. Getting some pressure. Oh, he throws it, and he catches it himself, and that should be a reception for a loss.
He's very lucky that he caught that ball, because that would have been a fumble and that would have been a big play. But luckily, throws it, it falls right into his hands. But if he had not caught that ball, that would have been an easy scoop and score, I believe, for number 44 D's right there for the D lineman for Tuskegee.
And that's the closest you can get to throwing it for yourself. Jeremy Dees, young man out of Kennesaw.
So the question is, can a quarterback throw and catch it himself? He don't have to be Superman. Yes, he can. We just saw it right there.
And now it goes all the way back to midfield. It's 2nd and 37. And now they will throw the flag because the play clock ran out, or they may have not reset it. We'll see exactly what the official call is.
Delay of game. Offense, number 17. 5-yard penalty. Remain second down.
And now it's going to be 2nd and about 42.
Here in a situation like this, 2nd and 42, you're not trying to pick up the whole 42 yards in one play. Just get a good throw, catch and run.
Another run by Davis, and he may have gained about 2 or 3 yards to bring up 3rd and forever.
Yeah, normally in situations again like this, you see teams go with the screen. That's usually a good play to call, try to pick up some easy yards. But right there, Morehouse decided to go with a little draw and only picked up a couple of yards. It makes it 3rd and very, very long. I don't know if you got a play called for picking up over 30 yards.
Have a man down. When we come back, we'll check on the status of the athlete, and we'll see if Morehouse can convert on 3rd and forever right here on ESPN.
Media.
Power of HBCUs to continue our purpose. Learn more at retoolyourschools.com.
And coming up near the end of halftime, we'll talk to another Tuskegee University football great, Ken Woodard. Played with the San Diego Chargers from 1988 to 1990. Also played with the Denver Broncos. And he's a 2019 Tuskegee Hall of Fame inductee. And a true testament is never too late to graduate.
Yeah, I want to ask Ken about that top right picture right there. If you're looking at your screen, that top right with them shorts on, man. I got to ask him about that.
That's when those shorts were in. I don't know if those have come back for the guys, but that's when those shorts were in. 3rd and forever. They're going to try a bubble screen. The Maroon Tigers get it out to Ernest Davis, and it looks like that could have possibly been a horse collar, but they do not call it. Woodley Apollon, the young Canadian, able to make the tackle.
Well, Morehouse does come back to the screen, but they didn't pick up any yards on it because of that guy right there we just saw, number 15, Appleton. But right here again, looks like it might have been a horse collar. No flag, just hard play on the field.
Identical twins, Woodley and Wesley. They both play linebacker, number 15 and number 14. Fernando S. Delamore, the punt for the Maroon Tigers. Going to try to get it inside the 20 and does. And can they stop it from a touchback? They can't. It will go into the end zone with about 5 minutes and 3 seconds left in the opening half. We've seen Morehouse come out and get a 7-2 lead, but can the Golden Tigers answer? We'll see. Stay tuned.
I'm Glenn Youngkin, candidate for governor, and I sponsored this ad.
Head coach Willie Slater, 16 seasons, a number of SIAC championships, and right now he's just trying to get his young Golden Tigers into the end zone. And right now they trail 7-2. James Verrett along with Tyrone Poole, the first time ever that the Tuskegee Morehouse Classic is being played outside of the state of Georgia. It's being played at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, the last win by Morehouse actually was 2018, but they're knocking on the door right now with a 7-2 lead, even though Tuskegee won in 2019. Of course, they didn't play in 2020. So Morehouse is trying to stop that one-game winning streak by Tuskegee.
Got a new quarterback in out of Norcross, Georgia, Lewis Williams, also a sophomore. He's 6'4", 195. And he has played sparingly this season along with Bryson, who is the starter. This time goes nowhere fast. by Patterson. He's quickly wrapped up and brought down by Daniel Norman and company.
Yeah, now we know that Coach Slater is one of those type coaches. He likes to interchange his players. And some players agree with that philosophy, and some players, I'm pretty sure, don't agree, just like some coaches don't agree. I think I've heard a lot of guys say, whoever's hot, you got to let your hot players stay in, and whoever's making plays, let them play in. But Coach Slater believes in giving all his talents an opportunity to play.
Loss of 2, 2nd down and 12. Flag. And this time he's going to go down with a sack. First person to get his hands on him was DeWert. And then the rest of the Maroon Tigers was right there. Elijah Campbell amongst others. And DeWert was right there to apply pressure, but there was a flag. Let's see what the official call is.
Defense. 5-yard penalty. Remain 2nd down.
And it looked like it may have been on DeWert. That's why he got in the backfield so fast.
Yeah, usually you saw DeWert when he clapped his hands, slapped his hands together. Usually that's an indication that the player did something wrong or they did something. And that's exactly what he did. So actually helps Tuskegee out a little bit, but now, as the players would say on defense, you owe us one.
2nd down and 8. Lewis Williams to throw his first pass, and this one is a free ball, and it should be Morehouse football unless they call it an incomplete pass. Elijah Campbell is right there holding the ball up, and Lewis Williams is like, it should be incomplete. So everybody's pointing fingers.
Again, when you have a quarterback come in, the quarterback has to warm up to the momentum of the game. And we'll see it is Morehouse football.
The ruling on the field is a backward pass recovered by the defense. 1st down, Morehouse.
Elijah Campbell gets credit for the fumble recovery, and Morehouse is in business on offense.
Again, Williams stares down at his receiver, throws an errant pass. Patterson was not able to come up with it. Number 15 for Morehouse, Norman, Johnny on the spot, picks it up. Number 93 actually for Morehouse. Check that. Campbell picks it up.
And he holds on to the football. He's like, hey, somebody put that in the locker room. I'm never going to forget that one. Again, and Lewis is like, man, I wish I had that one
it's
back.
All about chemistry.
Davis, he eludes one defender, but this time he is wrapped up and brought down, possibly for a loss.
Now,
leading the way with Sean Cross on the tackle.
We got people tuning in, watching the game, a lot of great fans of Morehouse and Tuskegee. We have a question from Angela from Athens, Georgia. She asked, since both teams are in the red zone, which team is better this year in the red zone, Morehouse or Tuskegee?
So far, it has been Tuskegee who has been more effective in the red zone so far. But in this game, right now, it looks like Morehouse. 2nd and 9. Sims, he's going to keep it. And, he gets out of bounds, but he is upended. And Woodley Apollon is right there. This young man is very aggressive from that will linebacker position.
And these are the type of hits you do not want your quarterback to take. You see that Tuskegee's in a zone. Nobody's open. Sims takes off and runs. He's now free game to get tackled. Apollon says, hey, I'm not going to run this far for nothing. Defensive guys love to see that quarterback turn into a running back. That's when you can unload.
3rd down and 6. They can get a 1st down without scoring. Bullet pass and goes behind the intended receiver, incomplete.
Yeah, I don't even think the receiver was expecting the ball to come. It's just like playing basketball back in the day, like Magic Johnson. When he come down the court, everybody has to be ready for the ball. Same thing on offense. When a route is run, it may be that you're not the number 1 receiver, but you still have to be ready to play and expect the ball come your way at any time.
Ball is on the 13-yard line, 4th and 6. Fernando Estelamora coming on for what should be a chip shot, about 38 yards, and he missed it. It went wide left, and he has yet to connect on a field goal this season. That is his 3rd miss of the year.
We have spoken with Coach Freeman on numerous times, and he has said, and he has emphasized that special teams, as you see him right there, he's in charge of the special teams. And when the special team doesn't show up, Coach Freeman, even though he's the head coach, he takes it seriously.
And that one goes wide left, and for the Golden Tiger defense, they hold and give the ball back to their offense, and Estelamora, he's like, oh man, that one just missed. Staying in the game at quarterback will be Lewis Williams on his 2nd series of the evening. Now inside give, and we have a new running back, Torian Taylor. Just a junior, stands at 5'7", 180, and he is sort of a breath of fresh air. He's a different type of back, a little bit more speed than Patterson.
Yeah, Patterson, again, he's that guy. He hits the hole with power, okay speed and quickness, but you have a guy like we just saw with Taylor right there. He's quick. He's going to hit the hole very fast. You saw the cut, and he was able to cut back and pick up positive yards.
6 yards on that game. Now 2nd and 4. Time, throws a bullet, able to get the first down. Stephen Hodges, the leading receiver for the Golden Tigers, gets his first reception of the day.
The job of the play action, to get them linebackers to come up, and it leaves a void in behind. Pride picks up a nice sliding catch.
First and 10. Williams going long. Finds a receiver. Great job by Stephen Hodges. He doesn't have over 1,000 yards receiving for nothing. The redshirt senior from Montgomery, Alabama, with his 2nd big reception of the drive.
Yeah, he caught that ball in front of Pittman, who picked the ball off previously. So right here, Pride and Pittman. Pittman right now is falling short behind Pride. Nice catch, a nice over-the-shoulder catch and throw. But I don't expect Pride to give up too many more of those.
Looks like we got a timeout called. Ball now on the 20-yard line of Morehouse.
Morehouse, 30 seconds.
Timeout called by the Maroon Tigers. They want to try to reset their defense. Right now, they got to play good red zone defense if they want to keep Tuskegee out of the end zone. Let's take another look at that reception by Stephen Hodges.
Drop back by the quarterback, throws. Basically, good route by Pittman. You see a great coverage by Pittman almost, but you see right there by Pride, he left the quarterback room to throw the ball over his shoulder. Where Pride actually started, he didn't finish. And that is a good route, and that's what most receivers are taught. Leave outside room for your quarterback to throw the ball away from the defensive back. And that great route by Pride actually allowed Williams to throw the ball. Hodges. Number 5, Hodges.
Time is running out. 5, 4. And now they're going to start the clock now. 1:19 left to play here in the second quarter. Ball on the 20-yard line. Throwing one-on-one. Hodges this time is looking for a flag. He gets it. Armani Maddox, the cornerback, was right there in coverage.
Great coverage by Maddox. Great coverage again. That's how you play the ball. Long foul ball.
They're going to converse, but it looks like it's going to be a pass interference on Maddox. Maddox is just a freshman.
Defense, number 21, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
See a little bit of chicken fighting out there, and that's okay. That's okay. The hand placement, receiver pushing off on the DB pushing off on the receiver. But again, the most important key and tip is to get the head around. If you don't get the head around, the referee is going to pull the flag every time.
Taylor trying to get to the outside, and he doesn't make it. Pushed out of bounds, possibly for a loss. Defense, good pursuit on that RPO situation.
Coach Slater is cool and calm and collective.
Gets the play call, and now Lewis Williams going to run in and try to get it off. 15 seconds left on the play clock. Time is on the side of Tuskegee right now. Running out of time on the play clock. And the refs hold the ball, so they most likely will reset the play clock because the refs are having a conversation. And they want to try to make sure they get the call right.
The discussion was over the penalty enforcement. It's second down.
Second down and goal. Not sure exactly what the discussion was. We'll most likely find out at halftime. After sending Hodges in motion, they get it out to Hodges, and he gets inside the 5 and knocked out of bounds at about the 3. Good pitch and catch from quarterback to receiver, and Hodges was like, man, I was just a couple of steps away from scoring.
Anytime you get down into the red zone, you're going to go to a lot of man-to-man, and when you get into man-to-man, you're going to come across with rub routes, and that's why Hodges ended up being so open because of the rub routes. So when you get down in this type of field position, the red zone, most teams, you're going to go man-to-man. You're going to usually see some heat blitzing by the defense.
Taylor on an inside run. He scoops over one of his offensive linemen and he get back to the line of scrimmage. Good penetration there by Morehouse.
Again, in position here, this turns into nothing but, can't quite say goal line defense, but teams practice on this part of the field every day. You're going to get mostly and majority of the time man-to-man. So you're going to see a lot of running.
Second charge timeout.
Routes.
Tuskegee,
Slants.
30 seconds.
Tuskegee calls a timeout with 46 seconds left. 4th down, 3 yards to go. Decision time for the Golden Tigers. And if you're Rich Freeman right now, defensively, do you just go all out blitz or do you try to play more of a man-to-man situation?
Well, all-out blitz is a man-to-man situation. Basically, you know, you can play a zone back here, but it's not that going to be beneficial. So usually you do get a lot of man-to-man, and you have a lot of blitzing in this situation of the field. So I'm pretty sure Coach Slater is coming up with some type of run play, I would assume, because still is Imano versus Imano down here. You're close enough to where the defense can be blocked and your running back can find an open and hopefully fall forward. Passing wise, you're probably going to see, if they do try to throw the ball, slants and fade routes. And the reason why I favor the run more because of the closeness of the goal line. But it's 4th and 3, so you could see a pass here.
Williams with some time throws it, and touchdown Golden Tigers. Alexander Mitchell with his first touchdown reception of the year. The senior from Birmingham scores at home.
The situations down here again, the defense, they're intense. The sense of urgency is there, and right there you see the linebacker tackles the running back, which probably could have been the linebacker's area of coverage, but nevertheless, intense defense ends up giving up a free touchdown.
Huskett on for the point after attempt. It is up and it is good. And for big number 85, Alexander Mitchell, product of John Carroll High School in Birmingham, his first reception of the year is a big one, and his first touchdown catch.
Play action, linebacker tackles the running back, great play action. Pitch and catch, touchdown Tuskegee. And that wasn't even a good fake. And the linebacker went for it again. That's how intense it is when the defense gets down and their back is against the wall.
And you can see his teammates showing him a lot of love. Most likely when he started his career, he never thought this classic would be played in his hometown, and he is enjoying every minute of it. And he may have some tears coming out of those eyes eventually. Coach Slater, always stoic, still looking for the next opportunity to score for his team, but now they have a 2-point lead, 42 seconds to play in the half. And for Coach Freeman's squad, hey, they pushed it to the limit defensively. Now their offense has to play ball security, and possibly do you try to go for the end zone?
Again, situation like this, 9-7, you just run the clock out, take it into halftime, and come back. Morehouse has played good ball right now. There's no sense to do anything that will set you back.
And this time that run comes back by Marquez Pride, about 15 yards on the return. And now Sims will come in. He may possibly kneel it, but hey, anything's possible. They may try to go for the end zone one more time.
With Tuskegee, you're just saying keep your eyes open. Don't let anything get behind you.
Williams out of bounds. 29 seconds left. They've had some time for another play. And Sims is looking to see.
There is no foul for intention. Side of the puck. And the pass made it to the line of scrimmage. Take it down.
And that's showing that senior leadership by Michael Sims. We did see Tuskegee try it, and it was a flag. And then now this one goes out of bounds. .27 seconds left in the opening half. Morehouse trails by 2.
Empty formation by Morehouse.
And this time over the head of Albert Connell, the intended receiver. Third down and 10. 21 seconds left in the half. Less than 10 seconds on the play clock. They've got to get the play off or they're going to get a penalty. Make it just in time. Sims throws, catch made by Strickland, and he's able to get it out to midfield. Enough for a first down to move the chain.
going to see a lot of easy throws by Morehouse. Tuskegee defense really playing a relaxed type of zone defense. Really don't want to give up anything deep. Keep everybody behind you. Let them throw the ball in the center of the field. Come up, make the tackle. Let the clock continue to run. Take this 9-7 lead into halftime.
So now Morehouse calls a timeout. And with 12 seconds left to play in the half, is this the time where you start throwing towards the end zone, possibly a long Hail Mary pass?
It depends on where you are on the field. If I'm Rich Freeman, again, it doesn't hurt to throw the ball to the end zone. There's no way if they catch it, unless they catch it and do a phenomenal return on the interception, that's the only thing you have to worry about. But if you get close enough, if the ball is around the 50 and your quarterback has the arm to throw it that far, then you do take that opportunity. But if you're not in that position, if you coach Freeman right here, you just actually run the ball and just run the time off the clock and, again, take it in halftime.
All right, ball at midfield. Sims, he's going to run it, and he's going to try to make it to the 30, pushed out of bounds with about 5 seconds left. Now that makes that long pass a little bit shorter.
The question is, do you feel comfortable in your kicker to where that's a makeable field goal?
And this would be about a 40-yard field goal. The longest attempt so far this season is 38 yards for Fernando S. Delamora. Now, he's hit some farther during his time at Morehouse, but this would be the longest this season and the first one made this season. Kick is up, and it's good. That's Delamora with his first field goal of the year, and he's going to flex it out. About a 39-yard field goal, and with 2 seconds left before the half, Morehouse regains the lead.
That's Delamora. He amends for the mistake of the first field goal, comes back and hit a longer field goal. So Rich Freeman, who is in charge of the special teams, I'm pretty sure he's happy as well.
And Delamora is happy, and look what he does right after. Flex. Not bad at all. So now up by 1. With 2 seconds left, he's got to do the kicking. Do you kick it deep? Do you kick it on the ground? What do you do in a situation like this, Tyrone?
Kick it on the ground, they call it a sweep kick. So you kick it on the ground, sweep kick it, and just let it roll, and when they pick the ball up, the clock actually starts running. So don't think you want to kick it in the air to give them an opportunity to return it, set up a return. So you sweep kick it. You kick it straight down the field on the ground, and the first player that the ball touches, the clock runs in 2 seconds by the time they catch it, or unless they catch it and take a knee, then the clock actually stops with probably 1 second, but that's highly likely. So I'm looking for a sweep kick here straight on the ground.
He kicks it high, and it goes out of bounds, so no time has been taken off the clock.
That's why you sweep kick it, because when you kick the ball like that, no time goes off the clock. Now, if Tuskegee chooses, they could just throw the ball up. Just take it, throw it up, throw it deep, and if they intercept it, they intercept it. But if your receiver catches it, could be an opportunity for a big play.
Looks like Lewis will go back into the game at quarterback. Here comes Lewis Williams. He's our second quarterback of the evening. Bryson Williams started the game, and now Lewis has taken command of the offense. And they will kneel it. and take it into the locker room. We have a barn burner of a game. Throw the record books out the window for the 85th Tuskegee Morehouse Classic, for the first time being played at Legion Field, and the magic of the Magic City has definitely come upon this game. 10-9 is your score in favor of Morehouse. And Tyrone, this has been a pretty good first half.
Real good first half for both teams. Not really a lot of excitement, but the score basically is in range for either team to come away with a victory. For Tuskegee, they're in front, so they could come back the second half and hopefully go have a 2-game winning streak.
And Coach Freeman, are you there? All right, Coach.
I've been well. How are you?
Good, Coach. Your offense started a little slow, but it really got on track. What were the things that helped your offense get on track?
Well, you know, they made a commitment. We all made a commitment to the running game. Very proud of Mike Sims. I think that's the key to our offense. No one is expecting him to run the ball, and he pulled it and had a couple of gutsy runs, and that opened things up for us a little bit.
Defensively, you played a freshman at cornerback, and he stepped up big and got to a big interception.
Well, that kid is a candidate for valedictorian. So he's a smart kid. He studies a lot of tape. He reads his progressions of the receivers, and I was happy that he was able to read that 3-step and come up with the interception.
Fernando S. Delamora, he missed one field goal. He hadn't hit one all year, but you still had faith in him. How important was that field goal at the end of the half?
Well, he's a really good kicker. A lot of the field goals that he's missed, it's been a pretty much a group effort. It takes a snap, it takes a hole, and it takes a follow-through on the kick. So the way the season has been going, there's been something wrong with just about every one of those particular operations. So I think that last one went well, and you saw his leg, and he made the kick.
All right, Coach. Thank you so very much. Good luck to you in the second half.
Thank you. You bet.
And you can tell by S. Delamora as his reaction from the kick. He was definitely hyped up. 10-9 is your score. The Maroon Tigers have the lead, and they're flexing a little bit right here on ESPN. Stay tuned. Okay. Halftime at Legion Field for the Tuskegee Morehouse Classic, one of the storied rivalries in all of HBCU and Division II football. Hello, everybody. James Red along with Tyrone Poole. Tyrone, your thoughts on what you saw in the first half, particularly on defense on both sides?
Well, the first thing we always know, these guys are rivalries, okay? They know each other. The coaches, Willie Slater's been around for 16, and you got Rich Freeman. He's hovering around 15, so they know each other. They know each other just like brothers know each other in the house. So I expect a game like this. But you know what? This game, 10-9, these are the type of games I like to see, because these types of games, as they say, is not checkers, it's chess. So this is where you see the intangibles of the head coaches. This is what makes HBCU football so great.
Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll have more halftime, have a couple of interviews, and see exactly what happened stat-wise right here on ESPN.
Waste less. Get up to 60% off your first order, plus free shipping at thredup.com.
And for the first time in the storied history, the Old Gray Lady is playing host to Tuskegee and Morehouse. 10-9 is your score. Not only is this a rivalry game, but it's also a key SIAC matchup. James Red along with Tyrone Poole. Tyrone, when we look at both offenses, for Morehouse, they have a senior leader in Michael Sims, and he has been the one to help get them in the end zone.
Yeah, just like Coach Rich Freeman said at halftime, Sims is a very important piece to this offense, just as he should be. He's the quarterback, he's the captain, he's the leader. The offense rises or falls on his ability to throw and run the ball.
And when you take a look at Willie Slater, they're using the two-quarterback system. Do you think it's working, or do you think he needs to stick with one?
Well, we need to find out what is going on with Williams. But right now, what he's working with as far as Coach Slater is working for that particular offense. They're not moving the ball like they probably want to, but they're not moving backwards either.
The running backs for both teams, explosive, able to keep their teams in a good offensive pace. Do you expect to see more of that, or are they going to throw it?
Got Patterson and Davis. That's what Tuskegee does, run the ball. Morehouse, probably see them mix it up a little bit more, but both are running the ball real good.
We're joined now by one of the Tuskegee University legends, Ken Woodard. Ken, can you hear us?
Yes, James, Tyrone?
Yes, we're right here.
Yes, all right, I'm here. I'm down at the
sir?
Tuskegee Morehouse Classic.
Yes, sir. Old school.
Oh.
We're going to call you old school, man. You old school. So you represent a little bit of the 80s. So we had Drayton Florence on. He was kind of like a little bit of the present. You're the past, but you're good past. You're the one that set the foundation. What are you seeing today, this night with Tuskegee Morehouse? What are your thoughts about the game so far?
My thoughts about the game so far is that it reminded me back when they had the Jet magazine and I was SIC Player of the Week back in 1979, and we playing the Morehouse Classic in Columbus. It's a great field right now because even though Tuskegee Maroon Tigers, Morehouse Maroon Tigers is 0-5, what we got going on is a battle of a classic, and when the classic comes down, everybody bringing their A game. You see some great plays by both sides on effort, quarterbacks making charge. Let's see a lot of second effort out there. That some things you can't coach. You gotta have it and gotta have that will to play. And that's what you get from HBCU is that will to play. And because they out there and it's a great challenge and it's the classic and it's in rare form to score 10-9. You can't get better than that.
If you're in the locker room right now with your defense, what are you telling the defensive guys now?
I'm telling my boys up front, hey, control that O-line up front, and I like the way they're putting pressure on that quarterback from Morehouse. Morehouse, that Sims, he got a timing pattern with a rifle out there that can really zip that ball in there that we probably gonna see again. Them timing routes, Tyrone at that corner spot. That linebacker got to get back there, but do that play action. But that's what we did to get that touchdown down here for the Golden Tigers, where we did the play action, and Torian Taylor took the ball. He took the play fake, and we threw it to the tight end, big 85, and that was a great job of the play action like that. Them timing routes, we're going to see a lot of that of execution.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Ken. We're going to fast forward. What was it like your first year going into the pros? For me, I thought the toughest thing was the adjustment of the mental part of the game from HBCU to the NFL. What was your biggest adjustment from HBCU Tuskegee and you went to the Denver Broncos? What was the difference? What was your challenge?
My challenge, it was so many. My biggest thing was the day I got, when the last day of cut, Tyrone, I tried to hide in my hotel room because I knew it was the last day to get cut, and I didn't want to go down there to get cut. But my name was already on the locker, and I came there. That was the biggest adjustment, to see my name in writing. And the first time, as opposed to going to McDonald's after a game, I started going to a restaurant with fork and spoon and a napkin. We can feed ourselves now. Division II, we got to eat whatever the double meat is in the cafeteria. We didn't have the luxury of what some D1 schools may have, but my luxury was I was able to be able to eat a good meal on a regular basis, and we had finally arrived, and I just wanted to go to work every day. I loved it, 6-7 days a week.
Ken, thank you so very much for joining us, and congratulations on graduating in 2019, and we will definitely check in on you again. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you. And I'd like to say to our president, Dr. Charlotte P. Morris, our president, we're working with One Tuskegee for the greater good of Tuskegee, and I love it. We down here trying to push it forward. I know you pushing down in Fort Valley, and as long as we can keep our HBCUs going and give these kids a chance to go find themselves and make that commitment. Okay?
Thank you so very much. When we come back, we'll have more from halftime. 10-9 is your score in favor of Morehouse right here on ESPN. And in the first half of the Tuskegee Morehouse Classic, high snap, S. Delamora does the smart thing, Tyrone, and kick it out of the back of the end zone for a safety. Then a big interception by Darian Pittman, which sets up the score by Michael Sims, and they get on the board. It's 7-2 at that point, but then it's a fumble recovered by Elijah Campbell, and then the field goal miss, which gave Tuskegee some life. And then Tuskegee goes long to Stephen Hodges, and he makes a key reception, which sets up the tight end getting his first reception and first touchdown of the year. And then S. Delamora with the longest field goal of the season. And then his reaction, not only is he happy, he's flexing. And not bad, Tyrone. I mean, 10-9, this is what you expect from a Tuskegee Morehouse Classic matchup.
If you're a football fan, these are the type of games that you want. Again, it's not checkers, it's chess. This is where strategic moves, everything has to be accounted for. Special teams, offense, defense, penalties, you can't have them. Turnovers, you can't have them. And I feel like the team that comes out and plays the best ball, no turnovers, don't shoot yourself in the foot, that's who's going to win this game.
We haven't seen a lot of long passes. We did see a couple of Hodges, but for the defensive backs on both sides, what are they going to have to do in order to play an impact in this game?
Well, I believe you're seeing more man-to-man from Morehouse. Not really seeing too much of that from Tuskegee, but they have mixed in man-to-man. I expect to see the defensive line for each team, Morehouse and Tuskegee, to continue to put pressure on the opposing team's offense. And if they can do that, then somewhere there's going to be an errant pass, hopefully a pick six.
Now, the young man Pittman who got the interception for Morehouse, he's just a freshman. They put a senior in Hodges on him. Hodges was able to get a couple of receptions. What do you tell a young freshman who's already made one big play? Do you expect him to get picked on again in the second half?
I just tell him to keep playing. Just like old Al Davis, God rest his spirit, he would say, just win, baby. So you tell the defensive backs, just go out there and play, baby.
They just go out there and play. Offensively, what do we expect to see from both teams coming into the second half?
I don't expect to see any change. They came in running the game, running the ball, running game. You can continue to see Patterson, Davis for Tuskegee, and you're going to hopefully see Frank Bailey and Sims run the ball for Morehouse. But every once in a while, you're going to see the deep pass just to keep everybody honest and make sure those safeties are staying deep.
You're playing in a big venue like Legion Field. It's a brand new place for both teams. They haven't played there in a very, very long time. Does the atmosphere and the stadium start to play a part in the game, particularly when it gets tight?
Well, as we've heard and we've seen, the atmosphere is not too much bothering the teams. When an atmosphere bothers the team is when the noise gets loud and the quarterbacks can't go through the checks. You start seeing a lot of penalties, offsides, forward, illegal motion and movement, encroachments by the defensive line. We haven't seen too much of that, so that tells me that the fans are not really having that much of an impact on the game.
But as the game goes along, they're going to start to get louder. The lights get a little brighter. The plays get a little bigger. Does that play an impact in it at all?
Well, it does and it doesn't. Again, like you mentioned, they're playing on a neutral field. So if they were playing at Morehouse or they were playing in Tuskegee, then yes, that probably would have a big impact. But since they're playing on a neutral field, it's kind of balanced. So if Morehouse offense is doing good, then Tuskegee is not going to be saying too much. But if Tuskegee is doing good, then Morehouse is not going to be saying too much. So that's what happens when you get half and half.
But when we get back to the game, it's going to be both fan bases are going to really be impacted by the arena, by the stadium, by all of the fanfare that's happened. They've had a lot of parties, parades, things of that nature. This is the first year that it's in Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, and it has most likely been a hit as we take a look at Willie Slater and the coaching staff for Tuskegee. They are ready to get this thing going in a few moments, but if you're Slater, do you just say steady as she goes and keep this offense rolling?
I think you're going to see Tuskegee play just like the demeanor of Coach Slater. He's cool, he's calm, he's just like the old Remember the Titans movie. Just give it time. We got a few plays that we run, give it time, just like Novocaine. It's going to get there. So that's his demeanor and that's his attitude. Rich Freeman, on the other hand, we've seen him jump up and down, and we've seen him point the finger, wave the arm. So that's two tales of two cities between the coolness, and I've been here and I know what I'm doing, Coach Slater, and also we've seen what Coach Freeman does. He really gets vocal at times.
Now, they may have a change at quarterback as S. Delamora will kick off to Tuskegee, who will have their first possession and have possession of the ball as we get things rolling here in the third quarter. Tuskegee will take it from their own 3, and Valcine is knocked down quickly at about the 19-yard line. And that's where the Golden Tigers will take over. And Lewis Williams will go in at quarterback. He was perfect, 4 for 4, throwing the football in the second quarter. Came in spell of Bryson Williams, who was 1 for 4 passing the football for Tuskegee.
Yeah, it does look like Lewis Williams has a stronger arm. We've seen him put a lot of zip on some short throws, and we've seen him throw the ball deep. So evidently, Coach Slater says that this young man, if they need to throw the ball deep, they can throw it deep.
And we see Coach Slater, he is a master of working 2 quarterbacks, and he actually likes it. He likes having 2 quarterbacks in there.
Yeah, he says he likes it, but a lot of the players say they don't like it. Again, it's the chemistry. Sometimes you have better chemistry with one quarterback over the other.
Now an inside run by Avante Patterson, and he's able to get 1, possibly 2 yards. Land right there on the tackle, and for Patterson, he had 46 yards rushing on 10 carries. His longest was a 31-yard scamper.
Yeah, this guy, again, just continue to feed him. He gets stronger as the game continues to go. So he's going to be a vital play in this Tuskegee offense.
Once again, they're going to try to give to Patterson, but keeping it was Williams. Wrong decision because he is dropped down for a loss.
Yeah, Norman, number 15, Morehouse had a little blitz on, and Norman, actually number 15, got into the backfield and caused that play to actually be disrupted before it even got started.
3rd down and long, 3rd and 11. For both teams, 3rd down conversions have been somewhat of a struggle for Tuskegee. They have not converted. They did not convert in the first half. 0 for 4 for Morehouse. They were 3 of 8.
A little bit of motion, checking for man or zone.
Williams, this time he's brought down for a sack. And yes, a big play by the defense for the Maroon Tigers. Number 15, Daniel Norman, making a corner blitz and a sack.
Again, Norman, we called his name before. This guy's made back-to-back plays so far. So right now, Morehouse defense has come out and made the better adjustments with those 3 plays right there. Got a 3 and out, and actually their offense is getting an opportunity to let us see what type of changes they made at halftime.
Duff on the punt again. First half, his average was 39.3, and whoa, could have possibly been a face mask there, but no call, and a good open field tackle by number 31, Caleb Grant.
Yeah, sometimes when you're coming downfield, you just try to get your arm out there because the receiver's going in the opposite direction. I call that bodies in motion, and that's a non-penalty type play. The DB or the defense is going one way, the offense is going another way. You try to stick your arm out there. It's almost like tripping up the legs. So in this case, the arm was a little higher, and it actually got him around the helmet.
Already in Golden Tiger territory is Morehouse, with Sims still at quarterback. Ernest Davis is wrapped up immediately. Nice play there by Frederick Austin, the big sophomore defensive tackle, able to wrap him up along with big number 90. Making a big play for Tuskegee is Edward Verdee.
Yeah, if Morehouse is going to run the ball, if their offensive line, Baker and Warmack and Smith, Thompson, all those guys, if they're going to get the ball where Davis can run it, they got to make sure they have Frederick Austin accounted accounted for.
Davis gets the flare pass, and he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but he was brought down by Kobe Mitchell and company.
Hey, you know how you shut down a flare pass? You know how you shut down a screen? Hustle, hustle. And right there, you saw a lot of hustling by the Tuskegee defense to get over there and shut that play down.
3 of 8 was Morehouse on third downs in the first half. This is their first third down opportunity here at 3rd and 11.
Neither team has been that good on third down. Let's see if that changes.
Getting some pressure. Mitchell in pursuit of Sims, and he's going to throw this one way out of bounds.
3rd and 11, you're going to come with pressure. When you come with pressure, that's the ideal. The idea is to put pressure on the quarterback, get him out of the pocket. The only thing with that is every defensive call has a player that is contained a quarterback, and right there they did allow the quarterback to get outside, but nevertheless, it was an errant, long foul ball.
Back deep for Tuskegee is Kedrick Green. And he's going to let it bounce, but it does take a Morehouse bounce inside the 5. And will they mark it down on the goal line? Yes, they will. Great punt by Fernando S. Delamora. He gets a good field goal to end the first half, and now a good punt. When we come back, we'll see if Morehouse defense can keep them pitted in their own end zone, or will Tuskegee try to work their way out of the hole. You're watching SIAC football on ESPN.
Academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
And Coach Freeman is definitely happy that his special teams played well. James Red along with Tyrone Poole. Tyrone, you were talking about the last punt coverage, and it really came down to inches that kept them in the hole.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it when this second half kicked off, what do you not want to do? And right here you notice Morehouse, right there, the number 26 for Morehouse, Slayton, if he had touched that ball, we could be seeing Tuskegee with the ball on the 20 instead of right there on the goal line.
And now working out of a hole is Lewis Williams out of his own end zone. He's going to throw it out of his own end zone. Long pass, incomplete. Pass intended for Jamal Pritchett, the second leading receiver on the team. That was incomplete.
Yeah, that's a gutsy call to pass the ball out of your end zone, because any type of holding by offensive lineman is a safety. But the thing is here, I see why Tuskegee tried to throw the ball, because their receivers are getting behind the DBs of Morehouse, as we saw right there with Pritchett.
2nd down and 10, ball on the 1. This time they're going to run, and they may have gotten a half a yard or 1 yard on that carry to try to work themselves out of a hole.
Let me ask you a question, James. If you're down in this part of you're the head coach, okay, you're down at the goal line, would you rather have your quarterback up under the center calling running plays, or would you be in the gun calling running plays?
Well, you would think logically you would want them underneath center, but if he's more comfortable in the shotgun, you have to put him where he's more comfortable.
Well, I just feel like when you're backed up like this, a quarterback sneak is another great call to push yourself forward to give yourself even more room to throw or pass.
3rd down and 9. Williams with some time. He's got to work himself out of the end zone, and he does. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but eventually brought down. I don't know if they'll call that one a sack, but it's very close to it.
Again, you see the quarterback take a deep drop. Usually in this situation here, you want to get the ball out fast. Get the ball out fast, flat routes. But here, Tuskegee, longer routes. The quarterback almost got sacked. Very kind of dangerous play call right there for Tuskegee.
And another freshman, that was Bradley Johnson, the young man out of Las Vegas, making that play. And now Duff on the punt again. And he gets it out of his own end zone. And it will take a Tuskegee bounce, and it will get to midfield. And right at about the 49-yard line of Morehouse, a good punt for Ryan Duff. He's been a big spark for the defense, but can they hold with Morehouse with the best field position of the third quarter? You're watching SIAC football on ESPN. Head coach Rich Freeman of Morehouse Maroon Tigers with the stoic look, but his team has a 1-point lead and 2 quarters away from getting their first victory of the season against one of their biggest rivals, Tuskegee.
Yeah, anytime you can get out the snide, as they would say, get that goose egg off of the record, you always want to do that.
Ball right at midfield for Michael Sims and this Maroon Tiger offense. Ernest Davis goes into Tuskegee territory and knocked down at the 45. A good gain for the Maroon Tigers.
Yeah, this time you saw the shift by Morehouse's offense. They did this before. They shifted. Again, they're trying to get a numbers count. But this time Tuskegee was able to rotate in the safety, in the secondary, rotate down, and actually Morehouse ended up running into the strength of that Tuskegee defense.
6-yard gain, 2nd and 4. Davis again trying to find his way around, but this time he's met by Apollon and company, able to bring him down. Both Apollons in on the tackle, along with Jeremy Dees.
Yeah, Dees, Scott, Williams, Hamilton, all the front D linemen, those guys, their job is to stop the run, because football, it starts with the D line and the O line. And we've seen a lot of running in today's game with Morehouse and Tuskegee. Shift again.
Keeper on the RPO, and this time he goes nowhere fast. DeVere Hamilton, the young man out of Compton, California, by way of Utah, University of Utah, able to make the big play.
Again, you saw the shift, trying to outnumber Tuskegee's defense. Right here, Sims, like he might have missed the pocket of the running back right there. Kind of left it on his hip, and he had no choice but to keep it, which turned out to be a big play for Tuskegee.
And that defense is saying, yes, we're going to hold them as long as we can to get our offense back on track. S. Delamora with a nice punt, trying to get it inside the 20. It does not take a Morehouse bounce. And they're saying that it possibly touched a Tuskegee defender. And let's see, they're pointing that it could be Morehouse ball. Let's see what the official call will be.
So every time you do a punt, there's always communication that the punter returner has to do.
Hit the receiving team's helmet, and then was recovered by the offense. First down, Morehouse.
Let's take another look.
Yeah, here, if
it hit one of the return men on the top of the helmet.
Now here is, again, we said earlier that the second half is going to see who makes the most and least mistakes. Right here, I put this on the returner. The returner has to know if he's not going to catch the ball, he needs to holler Peter, 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 whatever the call is. That tells your return guys to get away. And when you hear the Peter, 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 they all turn and run towards the sideline. But I put that play on the returner right there.
Caleb Grant with the recovery, and it was Taylor who it hit his helmet. Sims in the back of the end zone trying to find a receiver. Incomplete. Pass intended for Marquez Pride.
Probably like he may have something going on with him right there. But
may have got some of that sand that's in the turf in his ear.
But he's an important guy. Tuskegee want to make sure that he can stay on the field as much as he can.
2nd down and 10, ball inside the 30 at about the 23. Now Davis able to get inside the red zone, and he pushes forward down to about the 15, close to a 1st down.
Yeah, you see the shift again, the same shift by Morehouse. Now, my question is going to be, will Morehouse have something to counter this? Because right now, every time they've shifted, they have run this play. So are they trying to lure Tuskegee to sleep, do a shift, and then come back with some type of action off of that? The shift again.
3rd and short. Give again to Davis. He's on fire. Spin move and close to the goal line, and he's tripped up and brought down at the 2. Great run by Ernest Davis.
Again, football is all about numbers. You run to the numbers. And right there, again, that's why I said Morehouse is doing the shifting. Now what Tuskegee has to do, they got to balance up on that shift. As you see Tuskegee begin to balance up a little bit more.
Davis again. He's in for the score. Touchdown, Maroon Tigers.
Somewhere on that defensive line, somebody's getting cut off, and the gap is wide open. That's why you see Morehouse continue to go to it. Somebody up in the booth is telling Coach Freeman on the field, continue to run that play. They cannot stop it. It don't look like Tuskegee can stop it.
And for Coach Freeman, he's seen these leads before. Sometimes they evaporate, sometimes they hold. Fernando S. Delamora for the point after attempt. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. 6:37 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Ernest Davis has helped expand the lead, 17-9. Oh, it went right off the head. And then from there, it was Davis into the end zone, and now the Maroon Tigers are a quarter and a half away from their first win of the season.
Our purpose. Learn more at retoolyourschools.com.
Coach Freeman now, we see a little smile coming out as that lead has expanded from 1 to now 17-9 in favor of the Maroon Tigers. But you know, they still have not sealed this one as a victory.
No, they haven't sealed it. And what I see right now, what Coach Freeman needs to be telling his defense as Tuskegee gets the ball back, the defense, the corners have shown that the receivers of Tuskegee can get behind them.
And this one will be a cruiser out to about the 20. One of the upbacks will take it out to the 30 and stay right there at the 30. Good open field tackle made there by Morehouse's number 10, Kevin Donaldson.
Yeah, so you kick the ball to somebody who's not used to returning it, and number 81 right there, he was not used to returning that ball. Plus it messes up the return as a whole when you sweep kick it like that.
Now Lewis Williams will have to rally the Golden Tigers as they trail 17-9. He came in the 2nd quarter and was perfect 4 for 4 in the 2nd quarter, and has struggled a little bit here in the 3rd. Ball now at the 30-yard line. Inside give to Patterson, and he does a nice spin move to get away from Gertman, but Gertman grabs the leg and brings him down.
Yeah, great downhill activity right there by Gertman. Good little read by him to read run. Basically, he's reading his tackles, and when he see them tackles blocked down, he know it's run, and he shoots right up, fires right up, and get into the backfield just like he did right there. Great play.
Give again to Patterson. And this time he's met by Carlito Gonzalez. He's able to bring him down, but not before he gains a few to bring up a possible 3rd and short.
Yeah, even though Patterson picked up positive yards, I like the fact that how Gonzalez came down and actually put an exclamation point, actually had a little thud right there. If we had some sound on the field and had sound where we could just hear that collision, I bet you that was a little bit of pop right there.
3rd down, 2 yards to go. Keeping it on the ground so far has worked for Tuskegee. Stay on the ground again. Patterson gets enough for the 1st down, and they'll move the chains. Gertman right there again for the tackle.
Yeah, great penetration right there by Morehouse's front 4, but the problem is they over-pursued and actually allowed Patterson to make positive yards based off of the aggressiveness of Morehouse's front 4.
And right now you can tell Patterson's hurting a little bit, trying to shake it off. This time they give to Taylor, and Taron Taylor able to get into Morehouse territory, and now he's jumping around a little bit. Land was in on the tackle, and now Taylor's going to hop off.
Yeah, again, we said he's one of them quick guys. You give it to him, he's quick. He want to get to the tackle and try to get to the sideline. But you got guys like number 41 right there in your screen, Land, who actually may be the cause of that hurt, of that pain.
Now Patterson back in at running back. They still have their fullbacks, Goodlow and Bryant, in there. Flare pass is good to Webb, and Webb able to get down to the 40-yard line for Tuskegee.
Yeah, we said how Gertman came up on one particular play and stopped in the backfield. Right here, you see Gertman flash by, missed tackle. That's what these plays are designed to do, to get a one-on-one with the receiver and the DB, and see right there the DB Gertman missed. Webb was able to catch it and get positive yards for Tuskegee.
Patterson trying to get around on the end. Oh, he slips and just falls down, trying to do a cutback, but his cleats wouldn't work for him on that one.
Yeah, that's what you call a little bit of imbalance. You're on the balancing beam. He was leaning too far back and fell off. But either way, it's right here. Great pursuit by Morehouse. Nowhere to run. It actually looked like he might have just fell down himself and gave himself up right there.
Land was right there in pursuit and gets credit for the tackle. 2nd and 12 for the Golden Tigers. And this time they may get credit for the sack. The ball, it looks like the ball possibly went up in the air. Good play there by Zachary Beckton, able to bring down Lewis Williams.
Yeah, Morehouse just with a straight 4-man rush right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually come with a little bit of blitz there, and actually Beckton was able to do just enough to get Williams to fall down. Great play by Morehouse's defense, bringing a little pressure on that play.
And looking at this game, you wouldn't think that Morehouse hadn't won a game all year, because they're playing inspired football. 3rd down for Lewis Williams and Tuskegee.
I don't think it's the fact. I think it's the classic that actually brings out the best. So I think both teams could be undefeated or haven't lost a game and still we'll see this intensity.
Williams looking for a receiver downfield, and the ball is tipped all over the place and incomplete. It turned into a mosh pit right there. 2 receivers, 4 DBs, and nobody gets the ball.
Yeah, that's a good word, I guess, that mosh pit. But the thing is, you don't want the quarterback to throw a ball up in the air like that, James. I'm like, here, it's just like a punt. It's too many people around. He's throwing off balance, and he's lucky that ball wasn't picked off.
I mean, they had enough maroon shirts there, but it just tipped and did not go that way. Punting situation, Duff. Try to get it inside the 20 and does. It's going to take a Tuskegee bounce. And yeah, it's going to sit right there. And for Morehouse Maroon Tigers, it has been Ernest Davis who has had the hot hand, and he has been the running back of choice.
Yeah, Ernest Davis, you go with the hot hand, and Ernest Davis has been twisting and running between the tackles for Morehouse all night.
Young man out of Charlotte, North Carolina, just a freshman, has some years to go as a man of Morehouse, And in that backfield, along with Frank Baylor, remember, Santo Dunn, their senior all-everything, he is out with an injury. If they had him, they would have a three-headed monster at running back. Now they give to Davis, and once again, he's able to get to the second level of the defense and get a significant gain.
Another significant game, but also on that game was a good pop by Tuskegee. So yes, if you're going to run the ball to get big yards, you at least want to be able to deliver a pop. And like Carl Matthews delivered to Davis on that play. If you're going to make yards, make him pay for every yard he gets.
Davis gets out to about the 15. May have gained one extra yard on that play. Bring up a third down situation.
If you're Morehouse, you want to just pick and choose very carefully. Mix in the run with the pass. The running game is going very well for you. As they say, the run sets up the pass sets up the run. So right now, Morehouse is running the ball very effectively. Now's the time to come in with a little play action, hit the flat, and pick up good positive yards.
And we have a flag.
False start. Offense. Number 58. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Left guard Aaron Thompson, the young man out of Atlanta by way of Hutchinson Community College, called for the infraction.
Yeah, you saw Coach Freeman shaking his head like, come on, man.
So now it's 3rd and 10. Waning moments of the third quarter. Getting some pressure. Finds Keandre Turner, his tight end, and his tight end is off to the races.
Like they might have caught Tuskegee in a blitz, delayed blitz, good read by Sims, continue to let the defensive players get closer and closer. Nice little pickup.
But there was a flag, and it may be against Tuskegee. Let's see what the official call will be.
Holding. Offense. Number 7. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, third down.
They call it on Delancey Tolliver, and that could have been construed as a pick, correct? If he was holding the defender.
But usually when a team blitzes, you're probably going to get outmatched. So when an offensive lineman gets beat, I'm pretty sure they're all taught. Hold if you need to. Do not let a defensive player ever have a direct hit or tackle on the quarterback.
We have played 3 complete quarters, and Tuskegee trails Morehouse 17-9. It may have not been how it was drawn up, but right now it has been Morehouse who has gotten all the right bounces, but the fourth quarter yet to be played. Morehouse-Tuskegee Classic on ESPN. Stay tuned.
Child's learning. Unlock the joy of intentional play.
It's been a minute since Morehouse can say they beat Tuskegee in the Tuskegee Morehouse Classic, but for Coach Freeman and the Maroon Tigers, they're 1 quarter away from hoisting up that trophy. Had some movement here as we start the fourth quarter. James Redder along with Tyrone Poole. Let's see what the official call will be.
False start. Offense. Number 44. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Tight end Corey Fleming called for that.
Yeah, again, we've seen Morehouse, as the old adage goes, shoot themselves in the foot. Penalties after penalties after penalties. And this is what Morehouse cannot do. If they continue to do this, they're going to push themselves back and end up punting from their end zone, which would give Morehouse great field position, and this game can quickly be closer than what it is.
Starting the fourth quarter on now 3rd and 12 rather than 3rd and short. Sims, and looks like he's could possibly be called for an intentional grounding, but let's see. And looks like he was in the end zone. That could possibly be a safety, but let's see what the official call will be. Rare that you get 2 safeties in a game. And looks like they're not going to call that. And it'll be a punt situation for S. Delamora out of his own end zone. Good snap and kick. And fair catch, good field position for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. When we come back, we'll see if the Golden Tigers can get their offense going. Right now they're struggling as they trail 17-9 right here on ESPN. And head coach Willie Slater definitely not happy right now as his team trails 17-9 here at the Tuskegee Morehouse Classic at Legion Field in Birmingham. James Redd along with Tyrone Poole. And this is not necessarily what some people expected, but definitely if you're a follower of this game, you expect every time it goes down to the wire. Lewis Williams going to throw deep, trying to find a receiver, and great breakup right there. The freshman, Darian Pittman, once again steps up big.
Yeah, Pittman stepped up big right there, but he was actually beat. He was actually beat. If William could have settled his feet and gotten more of his body into that throw, that was a touchdown, and quickly the game would have changed. But again, Pittman knocked the ball down, but actually Ogletree was wide open. Ogletree actually had to come back to the ball, which allowed Pittman to be able to make a play.
Williams with time. Now he's getting some pressure on the backside. He's going to throw long again and incomplete. This time Armani Maddox could have been the closest person to the ball with an opportunity possibly for an interception.
Yeah, again, coach has to calm Williams down and just have him just to play football. Throw the ball where the open man is. Take what the defense is giving you. Don't always try to go for the home run. And sometimes when you've done a good job and you see sometimes your guys may be open, it makes you want to go to the well too many times. So right now, Williams needs to calm down, get his rhythm back.
Inside run by Patterson, but a good tackle for a loss. Stepping up big is Daniel Norman from that cornerback spot.
That was a slow developing play right there. It might have looked like Williams didn't know which way to turn. You can see Patterson shaking his head like the play was all thrown off. So again, offense is all about timing. And right there, Tuskegee, he's talked about it again. It's a broken record. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. And on that play right there, the timing was totally off.
Duff to punt and Pride back to return for Morehouse. And wow, he almost dropped that one. Called for a fair catch. And he was able to hold on to the football. 13 minutes, 42 seconds left. Can Sims hold on as a senior and walk away with a big classic win? Michael Sims, the undisputed leader of the offense for Morehouse. What makes his story a little interesting, so far this year, he has not thrown a touchdown pass, but still has been able to lead this team despite their 0-5 record. They're a little bit over 13 minutes away from getting their first win of the year and only their second in the last decade in the Tuskegee Morehouse Classic. Ernest Davis this time goes nowhere fast, and he stopped in his tracks cold by that defense of the Golden Tigers.
Yeah, you saw number 90 Thomas right there just sling Davis around. Watch that. Just sling him around. Hey, big boy versus little boy. That's a big man right there. Number 90 is shaking his head. Not on my watch.
And he's 5'11", 300. That's almost like a big tree stump.
Yeah, that is a tree stump. But, hey, that's the type of guys you need. Like I said, defensive linemen, they come in all heights. Offensive linemen usually are the guys that are going to be consistently big and tall.
Sims. Oh, this time he shortchanged his intended receiver, just a little short for Keandre Turner.
He seems to be out off his back foot again. These quarterbacks, what they got to do, they got to take their time, go through the actual progression, starting from the feet up. Make sure your feet are settled. Make sure you have a good throwing action, and you won't see too many miscues of a skip. Usually when the ball skips, you're not throwing the ball with great mechanics. Kind of like golf. Anytime you see that slice or you see that ball go a direction you don't want it to go, usually you didn't hold your club head in the right direction.
Now Tyrone, do you slice some?
I think everybody slice. Slice a pie, slice everything.
Bubble screen trying to go back on the inside was Pride, and he was able to get some yards, but not enough for a first down. And yes, the defense holds, and Hamilton right there holding up fourth down, and he get off the field with a 3 and out.
That almost turned into a big play for Morehouse. They had enough blockers out there, just that Pride couldn't keep his feet, but that was could have turned into a big play for Morehouse.
S. Delamore does all the kicking for Morehouse. He kicks this one deep. Fair catch called by Valcine. And now it'll be Tuskegee taken up, but the defense for Morehouse, outstanding, Tyrone.
Yeah. Interception, good first quick game read right there, putting pressure on Williams. He goes down, flushes him out. Williams goes down, the ball comes out. Great play, even though you're beat, when luck is on your side, you can get beat and still be able to get back in position and make plays.
And now for Freeman, the clock is slowly but surely not moving fast enough for him, I know.
But this is where, again, you get offensively, you want to take up as much time. When Morehouse has the ball, they want to take up as much time. Tuskegee, on the other hand, they still want to try to act quickly.
Avante Patterson able to get some positive yards before he's brought down by Zachary Becton.
And you're going to see Tuskegee, they're not going to deviate away from what they're doing. I'm pretty sure a lot of fans are saying, okay, hey, it's 17-9 with 11:48. We need to do something else. Well, it's still enough time to where Patterson could break off a good run, play action. We've already seen that Tuskegee receivers can get behind Morehouse's defensive back. So I don't see no reason for Tuskegee to change up the game plan.
Lewis Williams still has the ball. The quarterback still has it. He throws. Catch made. Jamal Pritchett into the end zone. Touchdown Tuskegee. And they're right back in this ball game. Great play fake and a throw for the score.
As I said, Tuskegee stayed within the game plan. The play fake was so good, it even lost our camera people. But it didn't lose William on what he was supposed to do with that ball. Throws it deep. Great catch, touchdown and score by Pritchett. Tuskegee back in it.
Now with the point after attempt, they can cut it to 1. If they go for 2, they can tie it all up.
And this is a great call. You know, you go for it, you tie it up. Because if you miss it, then you still have an opportunity later in the game, if it comes down to it, to kick a field goal. You still can win it 18-17. But here, if you go for 2, you make it. It's 17-17. If nobody score for the remainder of the game, then it goes into overtime. So I think it's a pretty good call to go for 2 here.
But Lewis Williams does not like what he was looking at, and he calls a timeout. With 11:18 to go, and they're going for 2. 2 here will bring it all tied up at 17, and as they say, we got a brand new ball game once that happens.
Now, if you're Tuskegee, you're happy. if you're Morehouse, you're kind of worried right here. Not only the players, but the alumni, the fans, because you gave up a big play quickly. So I'm kind of nervous if I'm the defensive coordinator for the Morehouse Maroon Tigers, because what defense are you going to call that can help protect your secondary? The only way you can protect your secondary is to get great push by your defensive linemen. If you send a blitz, then that means your DBs have to be one-on-one. So Rich Freeman got a lot to think about with these 11 minutes left in this game. What type of defense? Now, good way he can help his defense is his offense to run the ball and run a lot of time off of that clock.
And for Lewis Williams, his 3rd touchdown of the season. And it came at the right time. But can he get his first 2-point conversion of the season? He's got Hodges split out on the far side of the field, his number 1 receiver. Going to throw a bullet over to him, batted down. Once again, that young man, Darren Pittman, is able to make the play.
2 things.
11:18 left in the ball game.
When we come back, we'll see if the Golden Tigers can continue their offensive ways, because they're on the upward momentum right here. They trail by 2 on ESPN.
All the research so you don't have to. Take the guesswork out of guiding your child's learning. Visit loveevery.com to learn more.
Rich Freeman's defense did hold on the 2-point play, and now they hold on to a 2-point lead here at the 85th Annual Tuskegee Morehouse Classic. James Redd along with Tyrone Poole. This game has definitely been in the balance. Kickers have been very important, as we see Arnez Husky will kick for the Golden Tigers. And back deep for Morehouse is Marquez Pride.
Check and see if everybody ready. I used to love the kickoff, man. The guy, he'd come up, get his full speed, kick it off, and let's go get somebody.
You like it when they kicked it to you?
I did a little bit of kickoff coverage too.
Marquez Pride, and he's able to get out to about the 33-yard line. Tackle made there by Garrison Hand, reserve wide out. Able to make the play.
They call the kickoff the Pride team. It's the Pride team. You got to have pride to want to go down there and hit somebody.
And with the tackle.
And now for Michael Sims, still in search of his first touchdown pass of the season.
Ball at the 34-yard line, first down, Morehouse.
This is an important drive for Morehouse's offense. They need to eat up as much of this clock as they can.
And Ernest Davis this time breaks the line of scrimmage, runs into a sea of white shirts, gets out to about the 37, 38-yard line. Leading the way, Woodley Apollon and company.
You know, the most important downs on a football, during a football game, is first down and third down. First down is important because you don't, as defense, you don't want the offense to pick up no yards, which makes it easy for you to understand what they're going to do on second down. If they don't do anything on second down, meaning they usually try to pass the ball on second down, and if you can stop them on second, it gives them a third and long. So first down is very important.
Sims now being pressured. He's going to try to run it, and this time he goes nowhere fast, quickly wrapped up by Woodley Apollon, that outside linebacker out of Canada. And you know what? At this point, if I'm Apollon, I'm going to say I'm Canadian. That's what we do.
Apollon, you know, to me, the game has gotten so ticky-tacky. Again, I understand what they're trying to do, but sometimes you just got to let them play football. Just let them play football. As long as it's nothing detrimental, you're taunted to the point where you're trying to hurt someone, man, let them play. That's just me, maybe I'm a defensive guy.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 15, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down, That is number 15's first unsportsmanlike towards disqualification.
These emotions out there on the field, James. Emotion. Tackle, okay. Standing up. Just let them play. Just let them play. That's part of the game. Like, you're talking trash, you're talking noise. You know, that's just part of the game. It's just like if you were to see in the NBA when they dunk, and sometimes they just hang over the guy who they dunked on. Man, to me, I like to see that. That tells the other guy, hey, next time you better do something different. I'm going to dunk on you again.
First and 10 now in Tuskegee territory. They're going to give it to Davis again. And he's going to go down, but not before he gains about 2. I understand exactly where you're coming from, but they want to keep player safety and sportsmanship at the highest level.
I can do a laugh at what you just said, James. I'll leave it right there.
That's why they're doing it, Tom.
Yeah. Well, defensive guys think differently. So you sound like an offensive guy or a guy who probably just held his helmet on the sideline. Which one were you?
I was a defensive guy. Oh, my goodness.
And you talking like that,
I held my
James?
helmet on the sidelines. Come on.
I'm messing with you.
Sims. I would have at least had it on my head. And that ball intended for Tolliver, but incomplete. And some of the fans want a pass interference. Antonio Keenan Jr. was right there, but they threw the flag very, very late. Let's see what the call is.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And that's a freshman in Keenan Jr.
Yeah, you know, here's the other thing, too. You know, never hold your hands up. You know, never hold your hands up. That tell the referees right there you did something wrong. So if the flag comes in late, you probably brought the flag in late on yourself. So, hey, just play. Act like you made the play. Nothing happens. And sometimes these referees like, oh, should I throw it? Nah, I'm not going to throw it. But when you put your hands up, the referee is always right, as they would say.
First down of the 15-yard penalty. And this time Sims goes down pretty fast. Great open field tackle there made by Kobe Mitchell.
Great play by Kobe Mitchell. Good fake right here. As you can see, the fake took a lot of the defensive players with the running back, but not number 18 for Tuskegee. Kobe Mitchell.
He had an
His
interception
dad
return for a touchdown. Daddy taught him well.
Again, his dad is Anthony Mitchell. Ant Mitchell played with the Baltimore Ravens, Super Bowl champion.
And this time Sims tries to find a receiver in Turner, and that one goes incomplete, brings up a third down situation.
Yeah, Sims, just like Coach Freeman said, he has to play big for the rest of this game. Again, we've said it, James. The offense is going to rise and fall on what Sims does. And Coach Freeman right there, he knows it.
Third and long. They need to get inside the 20 for a first down. Sims going to throw. Catch is made. Great catch by Strickland. And it's close to a first down, if not a first. Let's see what the official spot will be, but that was a great elevation and catch by the freshman wide receiver.
Yeah, CCM throws that ball off balance. He throws it off balance because he was getting pressure. But it's a great play. Both the defensive player, he was in great position too. But you know what? Number 11 for Morehouse, Strickland, he wanted it more.
Sean stands at 6'3", and got a player down. When we come back, we'll check on the status of the player and see if Morehouse can punch it in. Michael Sims, the senior out of Detroit, Michigan, trying to get Morehouse over the hump. First and 10 now, ball on the 13-yard line. A win tonight in the Tuskegee Morehouse Classic would only be the second victory for the Maroon Tigers in the last 10 years of this historic rivalry.
If you're Morehouse here, James, you want to get a touchdown.
Give to Ernest, and Ernest is hit immediately at the line of scrimmage, and he may have lost a yard on that one.
I think a touchdown here can almost give Morehouse a little bit of strength that they could win this game. A field goal, actually, I think you tell Tuskegee that the game is in their hand. And the way they've been throwing the ball and getting behind these secondary players for Morehouse, I hate to say it, you can't say that a 20-15 lead is protected.
Sims, quick pass into the end zone, touchdown for Corey Fleming, the tight end. His first touchdown of the year and the first touchdown of the season for Michael Sims.
Yeah, you can see the fans out there. They got to put their hands over the kid's mouth because everybody don't like that touchdown right there by Morehouse. But actually, this is good for Morehouse because this actually gives them an opportunity to go up by 9. And even if Tuskegee comes back and make a touchdown, they go for 2, it's still they're behind 23-24, assuming that this extra point is made.
S. Delamora, a point after attempt is good. He remains perfect on PATs. And for Corey Fleming, he gets his first touchdown reception of the year, the sophomore out of Clarksburg, Tennessee.
Yeah, this fooled everybody here. No, really not a real good fake, but you know what? Somewhere there was a breakdown in that zone defense by Tuskegee. Touchdown by Morehouse. This is what they needed, a touchdown. They got it. Big play. Now they're up by 9 points.
Oh, and he gets a little shake there in the end zone.
Yeah, a little shimmy at the end. Now, what was the flag on that? They should have thrown the flag on that. Isn't that taunting right there? I'm just saying.
That it's a judgment call.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if they call those a lot on offensive players, Tyrone. I think that's your biggest gripe.
Now, my biggest gripe, just be equal. Be equal.
And, I mean, the biggest thing is, Tyrone, you're always going for the defense first.
No, I'm going for good football, period, overall. But, again, I am a defensive player. I'm a defensive-minded guy. So even if I became a head coach, I would be a defensive-minded head coach.
But you need offense to win championships.
Yeah, defense win championship, offense sell tickets.
And here comes Tuskegee on the return. Valcine, with his best return of the day, gets out to about the 43-yard line. DeVerns Valcine, his longest of the year has been about 38 yards. He averaged about 19 yards a return, and that one was about 23 yards on the return. And now for Coach Freeman, his defense has to hold. 7 minutes, 20 seconds left. 24-15 is your score.
Now, if you're Morehouse defense, this is another crucial possession, offensively, defensively. Morehouse, you want to get a 3 and out. If you can get a 3 and out here, that would be big because now you can run more time off the clock and limit what Tuskegee has to operate with.
And this time, wow, he throws it, and it looks like it's a fumble, and it could be Morehouse's football because it bounced around, and they're still fighting for the football, pushing and shoving going on. The word is right there, and he's saying, hey, I got the football.
Yeah, this is the time right here. Hey, don't get caught up in nothing. Right now, Tuskegee players are upset. We're in control of Morehouse. So get your guys, when you see them getting into a tussle, altercation, pull them back. Get them out of the way. Let's check it out here.
By the defense, first down, Morehouse.
Defense gets it, knocks it away.
Yes, knocked it away. Morehouse jumped on it. This is where Morehouse needs. Now, Morehouse, what they need to do, they're already in scoring range. They need to milk that clock. They need to go into their 4-minute offense right now with 7 minutes left on the game. Take as much time. Start with a run. Don't try to throw the ball. Run the ball. and eat up as much clock. And you see Williams right there. He's very upset, but there's really nothing too much he could do with that. That was just a good play by the Morehouse defender in knocking that ball out.
To everyone that we talked to this week leading up to this game, they all agree when they play each other, they leave it all out on the field. And for Morehouse, they've left it all out there on the field, and they're 7 minutes away from getting victory number 1 on the season. Ernest Davis gets into the middle of that line and gained about 2 yards.
Now, if you're Morehouse again, you're going to run the ball. But you know what, Morehouse? Come back to that shift. Come back to that shift where you outnumbered Tuskegee. Come back to that again because it worked for you in the third quarter. It worked for you on all the times that you've scored. Come back and see, has Tuskegee fixed their defense to match up with that personnel and that shift. Make them stop you. Kind of like what Steve Spurrier said. It's their job to stop them from scoring when they actually were telling Steve Spurrier why he loves to run the score up on people.
Another inside run by Davis. He gets down to the 30-yard line, bring up a third down situation for the Maroon Tigers.
Again, if you're Morehouse, you tear the quarterback. Do not snap that ball until there's about 3 seconds left on that clock. Milk this clock as much as you can. But at the same time, you got to be picking up yards. This is a good, manageable 3rd and 7. Good, manageable 3rd and 7. But if they can convert this 3rd down, I think you could probably give this victory to Morehouse. But this is a very important 3rd and 7 right here for Tuskegee.
Sims, nice bullet pass to Tolliver. Tolliver gets the first down and a couple of more. And, whoa, his helmet comes off. And he's saying that he's having some trouble seeing right now. Looks like some of the little turf pebbles may have gotten his eye.
Yeah, those rubber granules, you know, those are grinded up tires that they put between that synthetic turf to actually give it that bounce and give it that softness. And sometimes things pop up off the ground when you hit it.
Oh, yes. It looks like the defender grabbed him right there on the helmet. That's Zakiya McMillan.
Yeah, sometimes when that helmet comes off the wrong way, it's twisted, which is not, it's only made to come on one way. And when you get that helmet twisted, and you get that chin pad and it rubs across your eyes, you know, that could be kind of painful. So that helmet, like I said, is made for one way to come on and one way to go off. Even sometimes when you put a helmet on, you see the guys put their fingers in between the ear hole, and you have to pull that helmet apart and then pull it off.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 6. Penalties half the distance to the goal line, automatic, first down.
And the official saw that he grabbed that helmet. And automatic first down puts Morehouse in a much better situation to score.
Very much good situation. Any score right here by Morehouse, you can pretty much, again, in my opinion, the way Morehouse has been moving the ball, I still don't think Tuskegee has found an answer to that shift where they outnumber Tuskegee and they run behind the 2 H-backs. But right here, Morehouse is in a great position to score again. Any touchdown right here definitely puts the game in Morehouse's favor.
Using that double tight end, Davis braced the line of scrimmage and powers his way inside the 10 down to about the 6.
Now, if I'm Tuskegee, if I'm the captain on that defense, I'm telling everybody, hey, you know what? Pick your chin strap up. Let's get it, guys. It's not over. We still can make a play, which they can. They still can get back into the game. Again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but Morehouse, Rich Freeman's secondary has had trouble stopping the deep ball.
2nd and 6.
He's milking that clock.
Davis again powers his way, and the ball looks like it's loose. It did get loose. But will they say the ground caused the fumble?
Again, they They left 6 seconds on the play clock, okay? If you take in account 3 downs, 6 seconds.
Ruling on the field is the runner was down, short of the line to gain. 3rd down.
And he's down at that point, yes. Even though the ball comes free, his knee was down.
And as I was saying, they snapped the ball with 6 seconds left on the clock, the play clock. Let the clock run down to at least 2 seconds and snap it. Because if you leave, just say 4 seconds. 4 seconds, you do that for 3 straight plays, leaving 4 seconds, you're leaving Tuskegee
time out of the second half.
And
Morehouse.
now Morehouse
The
has
30-second
timeout.
duration.
30-second timeout. James read along with Tyrone Full-Time. We have seen both defenses play well, but the offense for Morehouse has had this ball control offense running the football and setting up their pass.
Well, when you say defense has played well, being a defensive guy, if you're Tuskegee, you've given up some plays that you should have made, and if I'm Morehouse, you've given up too many possible big plays. So as a whole, the defense has not played very well. The game has been okay. There have been some fumbles, some penalties. I'm pretty sure the coaches are not happy with the overall performance, offense or defense.
Well, now Morehouse is in that red zone area. Do you try to keep grinding the clock out, or you just want to punch it in and put it away?
I think you run the clock down and you grind it out. So you said it correctly. Run the clock down to the minimum that you can and snap the ball and just try to pound and line up methodically. Take your time, run as much time off that clock because, again, we've seen that Tuskegee has an explosive offense and they can get back into the game very quickly.
We know that wide receiving core is very fast. They can get behind Morehouse's defensive backs, so they don't want to put themselves in that situation. 3:36 left to play. Ball is at the 2-yard line. 3rd down and 2. They can actually get a 1st down without scoring. And does he get in? No. Looks like he was turned away. At the half-yard line was Ernest Davis.
Great play by Tuskegee defense. Let's see what happened here. They line back up in the formation I talked about. But this time, number 3 actually right there does a great job. Number 3 for Morehouse. Got to give him credit. That is linebacker Matthew III. Great play. And then the rest of the guys, 45 right there, comes back in and helps out to turn and deny that touchdown. So great play by Brown, number 45 right there. But they still got the 1st down, but they're not in the end zone, even though they got the 1st down. Anything can happen here. I still believe you bring the quarterback and put him up under center here.
Give to Davis, and he's going to lose a few. And he'll go all the way back to the 4-yard line. Good penetration there by the Golden Tiger defense.
With that quarterback up under the center, you give the other option of the quarterback sneak. And I think the quarterback sneak, when you're that close to the goal line, you have to put the quarterback up under the center. The snap, he is in his hand, he falls forward. But when you're in the gun, you actually take more time for the play to develop. And like we saw right there, you give the defensive line an opportunity to get into the backfield. And now Morehouse lost yards.
2nd and goal. Ball now on the 3. And into the end zone is Ernest Davis, almost untouched. Touchdown, Morehouse. Touchdown, Maroon Tigers. Now the lead expands to 15.
Good off-tackle play here. Hey, Davis just cuts back. Again, good wash. The Tuskegee defensive line gets washed down. Nobody there to even attempt to put a hand on Davis right there.
Looks like Ernest Davis' hand is giving him a little problem. Point after attempt by S. Delamora is good. 16-point lead, 31-15 in favor of Morehouse, looking for their first victory of the year with a little bit over 2 minutes left to play. And for the Golden Tigers, they have to kick it into overdrive now. And it all started with Lewis Williams trying to make something happen, and he gets the ball knocked out of his hand, recovery by the Maroon Tiger defense, and then Ernest Davis takes it in from 3 yards out for the score. Nice and easy. Offensive line does a great job of pushing forward, and now they have a 16-point lead. Right now, it looks like he may have a cramp in his hand.
That's about the closest on that last play that someone actually got a hand on Davis. So that play opened up like the Red Sea for that touchdown.
Now for Rich Freeman, he's trying to make sure everybody knows their assignment, because this will be a huge lift for not only the program, but for this year's squad and for the fan base. They'll know that their team got victory number 1 against one of their bitter rivals. But now Tuskegee's going to try to make a valiant comeback, and it starts with a kick return and a good one there by Kedrick Green, and he is upended right at the 30-yard line. Got a little pushing and shoving going on. And we got a lot of guys, and they're pointing to the scoreboard. But now with 1:55, you got to play fast. And let's take a look again. He goes airborne. And he flips that leg up, and then that's when everybody starts, as they say, talking a little bit.
Now, see, that part of the game is what I mean it's not called for. Now, that is, to me, more than the penalty for taunting when the defender was just standing there for a few seconds over the offensive guy.
Pressure coming. Williams throws incomplete. Good defense there by Armani Maddox.
And this is usually the part of the game. You're up 31-15. The secondary is looking for that INT because you know that they're going to throw it. They're going to throw the ball. You just sit back, loose defense, let them catch all that stuff underneath. Tackle the catch. So at this point, Morehouse is saying we will give up time and yards, but no big play. We give up yards for time.
Applying some pressure, and this time behind the intended receiver, incomplete.
Morehouse was kind of lucky on that play. They brought heat. They brought a blitz, and the blitz actually made Williams throw that ball a little bit faster than he wanted to. So, hey, let's give the defensive coordinators and defensive players credit on that play right there. They did force Williams to throw a pass, but if he could have just stood his ground a little bit longer, take that lick, but make sure your mechanics are correct, and that would have been a completed pass.
3rd down and 10. And this time Williams gets hit, sandwiched, right at about the 31-yard line, and an exuberant Tyler Hunter there to make the tackle.
Yeah, he put up that Omega Sci-Fi sign, didn't he? Q-Dogs. But again, force Williams out of the pocket. Comes up, make a tackle. That's a Q-Dog right there. Oof. When he bark, oof, oof. You are any type of fraternity, James?
I graduated.
See, yeah, I could tell. So James was no fraternity. They tried to get me to become a Q. Well, my last year was at Fort Valley. That's how I know those fraternity signs.
4th down and 6. Williams trying to keep it alive. Finds a receiver into Morehouse territory. 1st down and more. Great catch there by Keon Webb.
Again, Tuskegee able to throw the ball deep. But at this moment in time, Morehouse is saying we will give up the big play for time.
43 seconds and counting. And the 2-minute offense working pretty good for the Golden Tigers. But is it too little too late? Williams now going to run it and get out of bounds right at about the 20.
Yeah, at this point in time, all routes by Tuskegee is to be thrown to the sideline to try to stop the clock. Again, 30 seconds. The reason why I say that is they only got 2 timeouts left. You probably want to save those timeouts for defense, but a little bit too late. I don't even think they can save themselves with 2 timeouts. Even if they do score here, it's going to be very tough because they only have 2 timeouts, and Morehouse will have at least 4 downs to run the ball and run time off the clock.
30 seconds left. Lewis Williams trying to find somebody open, and he gets pushed out of bounds. Clock is now stopped with 23 seconds left.
So what play are you calling right here, James? If you're Tuskegee, what are you calling?
I'm going to try to find that tight end, if I can, in Alexander Mitchell. You found him before, and you got into the end zone. That's the one person that they're not going to key in on.
What route is he running? What route you going to give him?
A rail.
A who?
Run a rail route.
A rail route? Up the hash?
Mm-hmm.
Up the hash, run a vertical?
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. At this point, Tuskegee just need to run 4 verticals straight up the field.
They'll throw a bullet and intercept it. Morehouse has the ball. Maddox with his 3rd interception of the season, and now he takes it all the way back to the 35-yard line, and that will do it. And Armani Maddox has the football with 3 seconds left to play. And for the Morehouse faithful, you can hear them in the background saying, "Here are your keys. We're going to win the game." And it's been a long time coming for the Maroon Tigers. And you can see Maddox, he is spent as he's on the field laying down.
This is what the Classic is all about. Even though Tuskegee had a better record coming in, 2 wins, 3 losses, and Morehouse had not won. But when you play a Classic, you throw all the records out the window, just like we've heard Drayton Florence talk about.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 93. Enforce half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
And Elijah Campbell is the person called for that infraction, which negates the interception by Maddox. And now the defense has to go back out on the field for one more play.
With 3 seconds left, this game, it was wrapped up on that touchdown by Morehouse. So this here, you don't want to go back out there, defense, you've stopped the drive, but what you don't want to do, don't allow Morehouse, Tuskegee to score. So if you want to put salt in the wound, as they would say, go out there, keep them from scoring, and that's like adding salt to the wound. But if Morehouse relaxes and allows Tuskegee to score, I think it takes a little bit of luster off of the victory.
Looks like Tuskegee will call a timeout.
Second charge timeout of the half, Tuskegee.
3 seconds left. Now, it may be impossible to come back from this one, but it could be something to help this young quarterback if he can get a touchdown under his belt.
Yeah, help Williams, but also Bryson Williams. Williams, actually 2 Williams here. Like we talked about, Coach Slater, he likes, playing multiple quarterbacks, and he's not too much caught up with just starting one guy. So you got both Williams. You got Lewis Williams that we see right here, but also you have Bryson Williams, who we saw earlier in the game. So Tuskegee has 2 quarterbacks, and whichever one they decide to go on, I think the offense should be built around that person.
And with 3 seconds left, We'll see what happens here. Williams looking to throw into the end zone, and interception. Flags are thrown. Pittman brings it back, but yet there was another flag. We may have another offensive play because you can't end the game on a defensive penalty.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 6. Automatic first down.
So right now,
untimed down.
An untimed down, and the defense has got to go back on the field one more time, Tyrone.
Yeah, you know, the game should have been over a long time ago, but I guess Morehouse just want to continue to try to add salt to that wound, showing Tuskegee, we're going to give you an opportunity. We're ready to go, but we're going to continue to toy with you, and we're going to show that we can stop you. So maybe that's what they're thinking, but I don't think that's what they're thinking. Again, plays happen. Like you said, James, you alluded to, you can't end the game on a defensive penalty. So, again, if you're Morehouse, step up to the plate, stop Tuskegee again, but you actually made it a little bit tougher for yourself because you're giving them more, you're getting them closer actually to the goal line. But it'll be big, again, emotionally for Morehouse to stop Tuskegee right here.
Williams looking into the end zone, and incomplete. The final offensive play for the Golden Tigers, and the celebration begins for the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse as the Tigers of Tuskegee fall to 2-4, and for the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College, they get their first victory of the season. Sportsmanship paramount in every game, especially when you're going up against your rival in the Tuskegee Morehouse Classic. Everybody's shaking hands. And the final 31-15 in favor of the Maroon Tigers, and Rich Freeman and company able to walk away with the win. And you can see now that all of the Morehouse grads who have made it out on the field, the former players, definitely happy that their team gets victory number 1 against one of their biggest rivals.
You know, there are certain games, like we've heard, pro players who've played at Morehouse. There's certain Tuskegee also, that there are games that you circle on the schedule. And for Morehouse and Tuskegee, if you're Rich Freeman, you can have a bad season, just like Morehouse was having a bad season. But this game right here is just like saying, hey, we are 5-0, 6-0 now. So whenever you're playing your rivalry, you're playing someone that you know is the game that not only the players are circling on the schedule, but the alumni is circling on the schedule. So now Morehouse has bragging rights this year over Tuskegee in this classic.
No doubt about it. And for Tuskegee, you know, the season is not lost. They still have an outside shot to win the West and represent the West in the SIAC championship game.
Well, you got some teams playing like Lane College. Lane, we've seen them. Lane is pretty good. Miles is still kind of like the top of the league, even though their record doesn't indicate it. They are still a well-coached team. So, yes, Tuskegee has an outside shot because the records are not good in the actual West. But Miles, Lane is playing very good football.
And you see them doing the school song. This is an important game not only for the alumni, but one particular alumni, the mayor of Birmingham, Randall Woodvin. He, along with the mayor of Montgomery, are both Morehouse graduates. And Mayor Woodvin is standing right next to Coach Freeman right there in the black shirt. And they're hugging because he's happy that he's won. His alma mater won, the city of Birmingham won, because they had a nice, robust crowd out there. And now it's time for the trophy presentation. And people are taking selfies and all the good things that go along with victory. And you can even see the mayor right there taking a picture with the football coach. And that's a good deal when you got the mayor of the city who invited Morehouse and Tuskegee to move their game to Columbus right here, backing this illustrious event.
Well, there's a lot of things that had to happen. Of course, you hit the nail right on the head. The mayor is a Morehouse grad, so just like anybody, if the mayor was in Michigan, if the mayor was in Arizona, and you are from Tuskegee or Morehouse, you want everybody in your environment to experience what you experienced during your collegiate days. So kudos to the mayor, who's a Morehouse graduate, for getting the Classic moved here. And again, I'm pretty sure there are some financials that were mixed up in it, but at the end of the day, it gives Morehouse and the Tuskegee Golden Tigers and the fans of Alabama to get an opportunity to see what this Classic really means to those that attended Tuskegee and Morehouse.
Now, technically, this is a little bit closer for Tuskegee, and you see Michael Sims, he has been named the MVP, and they are definitely celebrating that young man, a senior, on the campus of Morehouse. And there's the trophy for the Tuskegee Morehouse Classic, and once they hoist up that trophy, as they say, it'll be definitely official at that point. Now they hand it over to the mayor, and the mayor will happily hand it over to the president of Morehouse, who hands it over to Coach Freeman, and the celebration begins. A lot of people touch that trophy real quick. Now, Tyrone, you remember when you got a chance to touch that Lombardi trophy?
That Lombardi trophy, yeah, that thing is, pretty precious. Anytime you win a trophy, something that signifies that you are the champion, everybody wants to touch it. But the one thing with this Classic, that trophy is going to be housed in Morehouse College.
No doubt about it. Morehouse, for only the second time in the last 10 years, they'll be able to say that they won this year's Morehouse-Tuskegee Classic. And it has been an interesting game, and we're waiting to see if we can get Coach Rich Freeman. He's coming over to our headset. And the players are one to get there, and they are taking pictures and all of that. Now, you played in also a very big Classic, Fort Valley versus Albany State. Your feelings when you were able to win those type of games?
Anytime you play against your rivalry, you want to win. So, again, Morehouse-Tuskegee is a big Classic rivalry. Again, Morehouse taking that trophy home.
All right, now we have Coach Rich Freeman. Coach Freeman, first of all, how big is it to get win number one, especially against one of your rivals?
Well, I tell you what, it was a very sweet victory. I mean, I'll tell you now, we've gone through the university of adversity this year. And, nobody knows it better than the young men in the room. And I had a conversation with our quarterback, Mike Sims. I think you guys asked me a question during one of the prelim interviews. And the question was, how do I feel about Mike? Do I think it was time for a change? I told Mike Sims, I said, hey, look, you and I are joined at the hip. And Mike knows that. Mike looked me right in my eyes. He said, Coach, I'm not going to let you down. And I'm just so happy for that young man, the way he came out and played. And I think everything that he's getting right now is well-deserved because, again, no one knows the adversity that we've gone through as a football program. And I'm just happy that we were able to get a monumental victory tonight.
Well, Coach, how can you take this victory and build off of it? Now, in the last 3 games that you guys have played Tuskegee in this Classic, 2018 you guys beat them. 2019 they beat you guys, and you guys come back and win this year. So technically you guys are outplaying Tuskegee. So how do you take this game going forward and build off of it?
I mean, it's huge. I mean, because, not only do you beat a football team, you beat over 150 years of football excellence, athletic excellence, no question about that. So it's always huge to get a win over Tuskegee, even if it's by 1 point. But to be able to come out and to line down and run the ball at will, and to be able to just stop the run the way we did, and just dominate the line of scrimmage, both on offense and defense. That's something that was gratifying to me, and I'm pretty sure it was to our players as well.
Are you concerned, Coach, about the deep balls? There were a couple of times that Tuskegee got behind the secondary. Are you concerned going forward with what possibly could have been exposed tonight?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But, if you look at our season, those things were long exposed. I mean, we've been getting beat with deep balls pretty much for the most of the year, and we've been trying to fix that. So, yeah, I am concerned with it, and we're going to keep chopping wood. We have a really good defensive back coach, and we have some really good defensive backs, so we're going to keep working with those kids. But you build off of this victory, and, you can work with a smile on your face. So that's what we're looking forward to, and I can't wait to Tuesday when we get ready to get back out and get to practice.
All right, Coach, thank you so very much. Congratulations, and enjoy the celebration.
Yes, sir, you bet. Thank you.
All right, Tyrone, your final thoughts on this game, and what do you think?
Again, just like Coach Freeman said, a victory is a victory. When you have opportunity to beat a team like Tuskegee, it gives your program and your players confidence. So great job by Morehouse. For Tuskegee, go back to the drawing board, look at film, and come back and let's get better.
And for Tyrone Poole, I'm James Redden. For all of us with ESPN, we thank you for joining us here for the annual Tuskegee Morehouse Classic. The final score, the Morehouse Maroon Tigers victorious 31-15 over the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Thanks for joining us, and good night.